Who would have thought these two teams would be premiership contenders?
What a win for the Kangaroos! We'll say it again, it's one of their best yet. Great goal! Got it to Wyman, the first gamer can join in the fun. Sets up Franklin, great play, Hawks. And the Kangaroos have taken control now.
While everyone's waiting for their bubble to burst, both continue to defy the critics.
The Kangaroos are now second on the AFL ladder.
But how far can the Shinboner spirit take the Roos?
You've got to enjoy the moment. You've worked pretty hard. You know, they're in second spot.
And is it too early for Clarkson's Hawks to soar?
Runs inside the 15. If this plays at a roof, it'll be coming off.
It's the match of the round, and it's right here on Fox Sports.
Oh boy, it's a miracle from Deb. Superstar. The skipper's got a bag today.
Hello and welcome to Aurora Stadium in sunny Launceston for the AFL match of the round. It's third versus fourth on the AFL ladder as it stands, but the winner this afternoon will move up to second with September not that far away. In fact, this could be a finals prelude. A minor sensation moments ago with the late withdrawal of arguably the two best players out of the Hawthorn lineup. We'll go through that shortly as we say a very warm welcome to former St Kilda captain and Richmond coach Danny Frawley.
It's a great day for it, Dwayne, but two late withdrawals, Lance Franklin and Sam Mitchell, two of their best players, I agree with that.
Well, Lance Franklin has kicked 49 goals this year and Sam Mitchell is their clearance specialist, so without those two it's going to hurt, although Bo Dowler comes in for his third game of AFL football, just his first game of the season, and Travis Tuck gets the call-up, the 19-year-old son of the great Michael Tuck, the AFL games record holder with 426 games for the Hawks, and under the father-son rule, the young lad gets his first opportunity at AFL footy.
Well, look, Alistair Clarkson, the coaching panel, will learn their money today, Dwayne. They'll have to throw the side around. I'm pretty sure that maybe Crow may go forward.
Here's the ladder as it stands now. The West Coast Eagles have already played and already won. The Kangaroos win this afternoon, they're up to second. And Hawthorn, because of their percentage, if they win this afternoon, they will take second spot on the ladder and everyone will shuffle down one. It's getting to a very hot point of the AFL season. And there's the Hawks lineup with those two new players in, Bo Dowler and Travis Tuck.
Well, put Crow to centre forward. Big ask for Gillam and Murphy, Birchall and Brown down the back line. But no Mitchell in the middle. I think Hodge will have to really step up himself, and the veteran Shane Crawford have to pick up the slack there, Dwayne.
The Kangaroos lineup. Daniel Wells was named for the Kangaroos but didn't come up, so doesn't take his place in the team this afternoon.
Looking forward to the ruck duels there with McIntosh with Taylor. That'll be fantastic. Shannon Grant, of course, one of the Brownlow medal favourites out here today, Bryn Harvey.
And a little bit earlier on, Rowan Smith downstairs spoke to both coaches.
Well, Dean, a pretty important game for you today.
Oh, yeah, it is. And I'm sure at this time next week, a couple of hours before the game, I'll be saying the same thing. But, no, it's another opportunity for us to come out and play well, you know. Hawks play well down here, and it's a hostile environment, and it's a good another good test for our boys.
But to come down to Tassie and have a look at the ground, it's in terrific condition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, I had a bit of a light training run here last night. It's a wonderful facility, and the Tasmanian people should be pretty proud of it.
And Brady Rawlings, 150 games, terrific effort.
Yeah, it is. You know, I spoke to the boys, you know, a little bit during the week about it, and sometimes we take Brady Rawlings for granted for the roles that he does, and I'm sure he'll get another big one today.
Good luck today, Dean.
Thanks, guys.
Alistair, a little bit disappointed last week. Look to get into some good form again today.
Yeah, listen, we played well at this ground, Smithy, and you know, we're a bit disappointed with our performance last week against the Saints. You know, they're a good side and they're up and going at the moment, and we're just unable to get our game going as well as we'd like last week. But you know, it'll be a real stern challenge again this week against the Kangaroos. They've been in really good form, and we're going to need to play at our best to get the points today.
And being third and fourth on the ladder, it is an important game for you today too.
Yeah, it's funny. Every game is critical, isn't it? And a lot of the sides are playing one another around the 8 at the moment, and every win or loss can nearly be 8-point games for you. But we give ourselves a real good chance against the Kangaroos. We beat them earlier in the year at Telstra Dome, and we're hopeful that if we perform well today, we'll get the points again.
Al, thanks for your time. Good luck today.
Thanks, Smithy. Cheers, mate.
It's going to be a tougher afternoon at the office now for Alistair Clarkson. There is the 19-year-old Travis Tuck on debut. He was picked 38 in the draft 2 years ago. This is his second year on the list, taken pick 38 under the father-son rule.
Now we know why Michael Tuck was at the airport, Dwayne.
Yes.
Father, champion player, son of brother of Shane, actually, from Richmond. So fantastic day for the Tuck family. Been in the system now for a year and a half. Wouldn't expect too much of him today, just to get in there and compete. He's really hard at it. And of course, Brady Rawlings, what a fantastic story. 150 games just from down the road at Devonport. The Kangaroos, they live for milestone games, so that's going to be super important for Brady Rawlings. I'm sure he would have set himself for Sammy Mitchell. He'll have to change his thoughts and maybe go into Luke Hodge.
It's an appropriate time for Brady Rawlings to play that milestone 150th game down here in his old home state, Tasmania, just like his brother Jade, who played his 148th and final game down here last year when his two old teams met.
I think it's a lovely recognition that the team he finished with and the boys that he basically started his career with are here at the one time, and he'll be recognised for the man and the contributions made. He's been a very good footballer, but he's been a super clubman.
Beautiful sunny skies here at Aurora Stadium in Launceston. The two captains, Richie Vandenberg, back into the Hawthorn lineup this afternoon. And back tossing the coin, Adam Simpson wins the toss for the Kangaroos and will kick left of screen as we welcome to the microphone former Hawthorn Premiership coach, Premiership captain, of course Carlton Premiership coach as well, David Parker. Welcome, David.
Good to be here, Dwayne, in a day which I think there will be a lot of questions asked, maybe a few more questions than we thought of half an hour ago, and I think a lot of those questions will also be answered.
There's Bo Dowler in just his third game of AFL football, his first game of 2007. Of course, had to overcome that broken pelvis through a horrendous car accident when he was drafted. It was always going to be tough for him, but good to see him back and playing this year. But it's going to be a tough task for the Hawks this afternoon with two of their key players out of the lineup. Late withdrawals, Sam Mitchell and Lance Franklin. And there's Glenn Archer, who in a few weeks will be the greatest game-playing Kangaroo of all time, playing game 304 this afternoon. 8 degrees at the moment, 11 degrees the maximum expected. Rowan Smith on the boundary. Rowan.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. Well, perfect conditions down here at Aurora Stadium. And just an update on those injuries for Hawthorn. Sam Mitchell had a tight calf and they just didn't want to risk him. And Buddy Franklin woke up this morning, was a little bit ill, and they didn't want to risk him either. So all is ready for a good game, boys.
Thanks, Rowan.
Crows pushed forward there, Dwayne, as we can see. No Lance Franklin, Crow gone forward.
We're underway, one of the big games of the AFL season, and Hodge gets the clearance, kicks to half forward. Off hands, no mark taken by Jesse Smith, whose father's coaching against him this afternoon. Inside 50, Crow, a big task up forward instead of in defence, tackled, dragged down, and we'll get a ball up from umpire Sean Ryan. Our umpires this afternoon, three of the best in the business: Sean Ryan, Kieran Nichols and Shane McInerney.
Rawlings has gone to Crawford. Was you thought that might be the result of this?
Taylor knocks it down. Crawford with a big job now in the absence of Mitchell. Watt. Grant feeds it back to Simpson. And he's got Rawlings wide. Richie Vandenberg harasses him, takes it out.
It was great to see Richie Vandenberg back in the team, the Hawks skipper. It's had an injury-interrupted season thus far.
It's just game number 2 of the season for Richie Vandenberg. Campbell up against McIntosh. Sewell having a good year. Vandenberg. Quick touch. Missed Hodge. Goes back, gets it, gives it to Sewell, who sees Campbell and hits him with the pass to the middle. Plays on quickly. Birchall. Tasmanian boy back home. Knows where they are here. Doesn't go for goal. Heads for Crow. Twists and turns. Can't get around Pratt. Forced to go back to Crawford. 60 out. And sends it, just pokes it. Made it a very tough ball for Ladson to take the mark. Simpson to Pratt. dangerously across goal, and it'll be a free kick downfield. That drop mark to Grant won't matter. Just repeating, late withdrawals, Lance Franklin and Sam Mitchell for the Hawks. Coming in, Bo Dowler for his third game, and Travis Tuck, the son of Michael Tuck, the 19-year-old, playing his first game of AFL football this afternoon.
I think, Dan, you picked up the other one. Ladson's also gone to Harvey, not right at this minute, but ran off him and tried to damage.
Harvey, it's around Campbell, and heads long and wide. Hale, almost the mark, fumbled it last second. And it's tied up by Campbell. Brown will get a ball up.
Well, Hale's direct opponent is Tommy Murphy there, just on the left of screen. You see the young Hawthorn defence. Joel Smith normally playing the wing. He's got Anthony Edwards, so Alistair Clarkson has had to do a hell of a lot of reshuffling.
And the ball up. Down to Hodge, to Sewell. Well played. And a rolling ball from Lewis toward the wing, and the race is on. Watt gets there first. Lee Brown. Tough one for Harvey. Ladson almost knocked him and the ball out of play. Harvey kept his feet and keeps it in. Campbell comes hard. Ladson back again to Hodge. And now Vandenberg. Third touch already. Bateman. Across the defence. Vandenberg. Crawford. Caught. Might be holding the ball, not paid. Ladson. He's tackled. Diving in Harris. Got it out quickly to Smith. Rifles the handball to McIntosh. Inside 50 for the first time to Edwards. Over his head. Campbell Brown can see it out if he likes. He doesn't. Finally comes back to him. In the defensive goal square. Guerra. Trouble. Rushes it behind. Well played by McMahon.
The obvious one to start. Sewell, you're right, Dan has gone to Grant. That's the pickup usually that's on in this game. And Hodge is dominating the centre at the middle without an opponent.
Well, the Hawks have to run and carry here, David, because the lack of the tools in the forward half for Hawthorn suggests they have to run and carry through the middle of the ground.
And they're attempting to do that.
So now a chance for Lewis. Looks up. Nobody Franklin up forward to go to. Crawford just pumps it long and inside 50. Sewell gets there with Crode. Neither can mark. Sewell dives back in. Jesse Smith through the legs of McIntosh. Pratt mopped it up. Watt, Harris, Sinclair. He's got a short option. Hits him. Jones.
His direct opponent is Campbell Brown. Campbell just playing off him at the moment.
And White to Grant. About to send them inside 50 again. Shannon Grant is held up. So we're yet to get a goal on this one. Inside 50 and a good mark to Petrie. He's been in sensational form and he's been a very accurate kick of goal this year. 23 goals, 9 for the season and 3 goals, 1 last week.
This is going to be a very difficult matchup. I mean, the size in height and body strength against Gillum. It's going to make it a very difficult
Stephen
task.
Gillum, we just saw on the screen there, Trent Crowd going for the ball. He would normally be on Petrie.
So from the pocket, he doesn't like it off the boot, only a behind. And these two teams played here in Launceston round 21 last year. It was a very low scoring game. 7 goals to 4 it was at the final siren. Hawthorn winning by 22 points. They kicked 7-16 that afternoon to the Kangaroos 4-12.
Remember that game, Dwayne? The Kangaroos kicked 4 goals in the first quarter and put up the shutters.
A lot of people say it was the most unforgettable game of the year. In fact, it ended up being the one that everybody remembered. That's how bad it was. Hodge dives in, locks it in with Harris, and we will get a ball up. Rowan Smith.
I was just going to say, Dwayne, with Mitchell and Franklin being out, it can work both ways for North Melbourne today. Obviously, they are a real chance to win, but it obviously puts them under the pump as well when they are expected to win now.
Both sides a little bit nervous at the moment, Dwayne. A lot of at stake in this game of football, so they're just finding their way at the moment.
Well, second spot on the ladder is up for grabs. The winner will take it. Birchall looks up and has Vandenberg running for him, and the skipper is inspired at the moment. Takes possession, takes on Petrie, has to shoot it back to Birchall. Kicks in the rough head direction, had it but lost it. Got a little nudge for Rito. Sinclair, Archer, Harvey, the usual suspects combined. And now Hale Tucked up against the boundary line. Shannon Grant. Too far out to score. And he's held up still. Hawthorn getting numbers back. Spearing pass toward Jones. One grab, not the second. Birchall, rough head. Campbell Brown.
Well, again, they have to run and carry here because they look up. There's Kangaroo players everywhere behind the ball.
And Birchall gave it up to Harris. Simpson. McMahon, who's also been quite impressive. This is just game number 8 for Scott McMahon. Rookie list player last year. Played with Tasmania in the VFL last year and 4th in their best and fairest. And a big kick to Petrie, who over the top takes another massive grab.
Oh, outstanding mark.
Plays on, looks for, and doesn't find Brown. Ties him up. Campbell. Grant.
It's terrific reading of the play of Campbell there. Great play, Robert Campbell.
Hodge and Bateman combine. Now Vandenberg. Lewis. And back to Chance Bateman. Taylor on the end of it. Can't take the mark. He's tipped a little by Watt. He keeps it alive. Keeps it in. And to his detriment, Pratt sends it back to Harris. Smith. Sinclair. They'll go forward again, but with an open forward line. Lee Brown can't collect it. He had space in front of him. Sinclair sees the space. Puts it into the hole, and Jones can't take the mark. Ladson. Birchall, Smith. It's a strange old game at the moment. Sewell, handball smothered. Back to Sewell. Crawford loops it wide towards Campbell Brown.
There's been no downtime at all, has there? I mean,
Chance
they're
Bateman.
absolutely exhausted already, Dwayne. Blokes are just gone on their feet. It's just gone between half-back and half-forward at 100 mile an hour for the first 6 or 7 minutes.
Played 9 goalless minutes in the opening term. Birchall and now Guerra with some space. Looks up and he's got Crow calling for it long, but it's too low. Crow forced to spoil from behind. Gathers the crumb. Takes on Pratt. Handles it over the top. Hodge goal! Hallelujah!
It was a fantastic goal there. Great contest over from Trent Crow. Push forward. Hodge groved it beautifully, but the Trent Crow's strength. Brent Guerra set it up in the middle of the ground. You've got to get the ball in the right hands. We see the Drew Petrie mark early. It was just a fantastic grab, but that was great run and carry there from the Hawks.
And a terrific effort by Hodge. He's actually got over 120 metres to get there, and he was gone. He was looking for Petrie. In fact, they had to high up to the I'm off.
First goal of the afternoon to Luke Hodge, and we're underway now. 29 possessions last week against the Saints. Luke Hodge.
And Travis Tuck's just come straight onto the wing boards for his first run.
Yeah, it's good the Hodge is in outstanding form. They'll need him and Crawford firing without Sam Mitchell to get the clearances. It'll be a clearance to the Kangaroos. Hamish McIntosh toward Hale in a wrestle. Got a hand on it. Handball out. Campbell Brown touches it. Gets around Jones. Smothered by Sinclair. Ball back alive again. Out wide to Rawlings. Sinclair. Grant. Simpson. All the way back to the wing. Harris. McIntosh. Long towards full forward. Tough one to mark. Little knuckle on it. Ladson. Back again and taking it through Murphy. Quick kick in and the Hawks are away. It's almost worth rushing the behind these days, just to get yourself out of trouble and away again.
The New rule's fantastic for that. You can just bring the ball in straight away, so you get a free kick basically.
Sewell a fumble. There's something wrong with that ball. Ferrito. And it's tied up in the middle. We'll get a ball up.
And the nerves have yet to go, Dan. There are some players like Sewell who are just brilliant handlers who are decking the ball at times when it just should not happen.
Black talk also. Bo Dowler off his first run also deep for Hawthorn.
Sainsbury locked up, started on the bench and now on and coming off for rest. Scott McMahon.
Well, both clubs have got a four-man forward line. Both have got a four-man. Hawthorn have dropped one back behind the play. This is going to be some hard work done between the 50s today by the runners in the middle of the ground.
He'll palm down Taylor. Didn't hit his own target. And he hit.
So this time Kangaroos are playing one extra midfielder and Hawthorn have got one extra in defence. Now being manned up, 5 each.
John Wyman.
There's Travis Tuck there, number 38, just the bottom of the screen, on for his first run too for Hawthorn, which is great.
Simpson gets the clearance to Petrie inside 50. Hale is there, tries to hand it to Petrie, can't. Harvey, Sainsbury, caught, brought down by Young. No free for Jones for too high either. In fact, he does get it.
Yeah.
So Corey Jones to take it from 45 out.
You're right, Dwayne. The umpire not in control from the central part of the ground called the free that was missed by the umpire in control.
Sainsbury brought down. And Corey Jones, 4-1 last week. He's kicked 34 for the season. 34 goals, 22. Not a very accurate week last week. And that's what he has ahead of him to give the Kangaroos the lead. Nice off the boot. It's a spear straight through the middle. Roos in front.
Important player, Corey Jones, for the Kangaroos. You've got Petrie and Hale, the big tall forwards, Edwards. Corey Jones, he's the one that just keeps coming at the ball. See him just drawing the free kick, and Ladson just had to go low with his arms. The tackle was on, but just had to keep the arms lower and the hips. He's such a magnificent kick for goal. He's had a terrific year, Corey Jones, for the Kangaroos.
Well, he needed to when they lost Thompson and Harding, who were probably 80 goals between them. He had to bob up, and he's done so.
When these two teams met last year, the last time the Roos won the battle between these two teams by 22 points at the Telstra Dome, Nathan Thompson kicked 8 for the Kangaroos. So they need Corey Jones or someone to fire up forward if they're to win this afternoon. Young gets on the end of a kick forward to Gillum. And he tries for Lewis, but it's too short. Harvey sends it back to Swallow at half forward. Can't get there. Shepherd off it. Ladson, Brown. And plenty of space for Hodge, who can run. Decides to hand off to Taylor, strangely enough. And he sends it long towards the square. Big fly, Roughhead can't bring the mark down. Had a second bite at it. Simpson, boundary line. Dixon, Crow, gets the snap. He was over the line.
Touched. Or over the line, Blaine. I think you're right the first time.
Carried it through.
Great strength from Trent Coburn. Would have been a fantastic rugby union for the All Blacks, David.
Yes, in the parentage.
Yes, as a Kiwi, came out here as a young boy. Trent Crow, and has the silver fern tattooed on his arm. Sainsbury holds it up on the wing. Looks up and he has Hale short. Good battle between he and Thomas Murphy. Didn't play last week. Thomas Murphy into the side this week. Gives away the free kick for slapping the arm.
The key to this game is going to be quick ball movement. When you hold the ball up such as this, Hawthorn will get back. Likewise up the other end.
Jones will line up at his second. Same angle, roughly. So he's had a sighter. And the last one was dead setter.
That's a great mark, really. I mean, Brownie's a terrific defender, and he didn't get anywhere near that contest.
Well, he just had to go with the body spoil. He just assumed the ball was going to go over the back there, David. Had to get a body spoil on Corey Jones and find some body.
No contact at all in the finish.
So he's got 35 for the season. For 36, starts at left. It doesn't come back enough. Only a behind.
I look forward to the next contest from Campbell Brown.
Yes, I do too. Yeah.
The sigh of relief there that Corey Jones missed that shot on goal, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
He's a quick learner.
Played 16 minutes opening term. Good crowd in here at Launceston. Fine afternoon for football. I haven't seen anything spectacular from their Hawks yet. And this is looking even uglier for them. Harvey to Harris. Spins around and misses.
And it could be costly, Dan. I mean, they've I reckon, dominated forward thrusts and set up obvious ones. Missed 5 now. Should have been probably 4 goals at least on the board. They're keeping the Hawks in at the moment. They're defending grimly, the Hawks.
Birchall, coming off a 25 possession game last week, kicks wide towards McGlynn. And he thumps it out of play. And we'll get a ball in. And McGlynn, another one of the midfielders who's been in good form this year. Big crowd expected. The record here, 20,900. So they're hoping for 21,000 plus this afternoon to set a new record. Not that last year's game here would have inspired them to come. 7 goals to 4. But they have had some reasonably high scoring encounters in recent times. From the ball up. Hale doing the ruck work. Lewis, Ladson, Bateman. Back to Lewis. Good move with this. Shortish pass. Misses Campbell and hits Watt. Caught. Campbell slings him after he got rid of it. Umpire saw it. Play on advantage. Harvey over the top to Swallow. Left it behind. Mops up his own mess. Heads wide. Sainsbury from 50. Centering kick. Disciplined kick. Jones again. Couldn't rack it in. Threads his way through traffic and kicks a brilliant goal. His second.
What a fantastic individual effort. I mean, he got into a point where he could get one hand to it. He nearly actually took the mark, dropped it down. He had to weave himself out of at least 4 direct opponents who are only concentrating on stopping him from getting out of it. Not only did he get out, he's kicked the goal as well. It was just a super individual effort.
Bit of a worry for Alistair Clarkson too, David, because Campbell Brown's his best defender, and already Corey Jones has had 3 shots on goal.
2 goals to Corey Jones for the afternoon. An important leader in this team. He did captain the Roos in round 22 last year, when Adam Simpson couldn't take his place in the lineup. And the Kangaroos looking good. 2-5 to 1-1 away from home. Free kick, centre square infringement, and it's against Taylor. It goes to Hale.
The last 2 goals Corey Jones has kicked, David. Campbell Brown's tried to have a piece of the ball both times. Needs to find some body.
Petrie wants to get around Gillum. Can't. Gillum caught. Dispossessed. Young got it up. Hodge somehow back to Young. And now Bateman. Young again. Tucked up against the boundary line. Crawford still with the line there. Short pass. Back to Hodge. Completes the mark. Was held. Crowd wanted 50. Don't get it. He plays on. The first game at Travis Tuck. It's a little touch. Taylor. Ladson from 50. Just pokes it towards full forward. Not a great option. Forced to spoil Bodala. And no mark paid on Archer. And crowd wanted ball after that. Didn't get it.
I think Archer's claiming it, is he not? He thought he did almost enough, if not a free kick. He's pretty stiff there.
That was a mark.
Not down here. From the ball up. And no one going anywhere.
Rick Ladson and Brent Harvey's an interesting matchup. They both had 7 possessions, so Alistair Clarkson's assuming that Harvey's going to get some, but let's hurt Brent Harvey the other way.
Well, he is, and Ladson's sitting off and becoming the midfield or quarterback director, whatever you like to call him.
Campbell slapped it toward Dowler. Archer beating him for it and was held. There's the evener upper. The crowd know it. Should have been paid the mark. Gets us off free instead. Hale. Plenty of time to spare. Watt.
The difficulty for Alistair Clarkson too, David, is the fact that their ruckmen normally rotate off the bench. They're now playing as a key forward and in the ruck. They don't get a spell, no respite.
I think that's an absolute significant event.
Swallow got his arm thumped and won the free, but then kicked it out of bounds on the full. Hodges' ball, the turnover.
Well, Hawthorn are still trying to run. They're still trying to get it back in the corner. They're still trying to use it. Kangaroos are absolutely pressuring them front up, head on, and caused a lot of turnovers and pressure. I mean, the game's delicately poised, but Kangaroos are delivering what they need to deliver.
And a big punch from Jesse Smith. Thumps it across the boundary line. Will get a ball in. Jesse Smith, of course, a father-son. Ross Smith, 224 games for the Kangaroos. And now coaching as part of the Hawthorn coaching staff this afternoon against his son. From the ball in. Crawford, handball to Vandenberg, to Young. Free kick with play on advantage. Short pass was good from Bateman. And now Campbell Brown. Good pass on the lead and the mark to Dowler.
good to see young Dowler get a touch here, playing his 3rd game of AFL football, his 1st this year. Good positive lead.
And good use. And Brownie has been under a bit of criticism, was the one in the finish that won it, having crossed the ground totally. Brownie put it right on his chest.
So for his first goal in AFL football, and he misses across the face. Just his first game this year. Bo Dowler, 3 games to his name so far on what's expected to be a long career. He's taken pick 6 back in the 2005 draft. Archer. Smith. And he's held up by Bateman. Inside 4 minutes to quarter time.
When was the last father to coach a team and coach against his son, David?
Sure. Would you be a little lenient?
Well, I've got one, Dwayne.
McIntosh.
John Kennedy Senior and Junior.
Okay, for these 2 teams.
When he coached for the Kangaroos, North Melbourne in those days.
Yes.
And Hawthorn.
Yes. Sinclair. Harris. Harvey. This looks good. Runs to 50. Hands off to Rawlings in game 1. 50 caught. Got a handball out, but to Young. Campbell Brown loops it back. Handball from Murphy all the way back to fullback to Smith. Birchall. It's away from Wyman. Back again. Just waxing at the moment. Murphy, Guerra. And now they turn it over almost. Birchall found Campbell Brown, who finds Bateman from the wing. Little nudge as he kicks it. Lewis. Boundary line looming. Well played by Hamish McIntosh. Gets the handball out to Simpson. Harris. Little chip kick okay from Green. Jones. Played for the nudge and got it. Felt the contact. Dive forward. Got the free. Daniel Harris again. Getting plenty of it. Straight down the middle with the pass over the head of Petrie. Back onto it again with the handball Murphy. And again they might turn it over. They do. Sainsbury. Just chips it inside 50 over the head of Lee Brown, and it's marked by Birchall. It's been turnovers galore.
A lot of possessions for both teams at the moment. The Hawthorn have got 107 to the Kangaroos 88.
Dwayne's right. Dwayne, it's been the biggest turnover festival I've seen, I think, in the last 10 minutes.
Just too much space on this ground for them to use. Tuck, the debutant against 8th gamer Scott McMahon. And a 2-on-1 wins it. McMahon and Tuck go on with it behind play. McIntosh, Smith, he might have turned it over here. Hodge to his own advantage. Held, not in possession. Crowd knew it, umpire didn't see it. Bateman, roughhead.
Bateman's down.
And he was caught high. Sewell spears the pass, and Hodge can kick it from there.
Well, I'm glad young Tuck's got some of his father's characteristics, so he's a brave man.
Pass toward roughhead, and he got it. Millimetres from the turf. Crab on 50 then, because Ferrito, who wasn't in the marking contest, jumped on him. Chance Bateman coming off.
You see the clash there. Friendly fire there from his own man in Jared Roughhead, who's now got the shot on goal.
With 22 goals, 21 this year, so a 50-50 goal scorer, Jared Roughhead. Important kick this in the shadows of quarter time, and it's out of play on the full.
The last 2 shots on goal from Dowler and Roughhead, they could have quite easily gone in a quarter time in front, David.
Look, and you'd have to say it must be the wind or doing something here. There's no wind at all.
It's like they're using a plastic footy from the service station across the road.
Just terrible, Dwayne.
Ball back into play. Crawford. McGlynn didn't get a legal handball away. Umpire allowed play on. Harris. Smith. Caught by Crawford. Shrugged the tackle. Handball to Rawlings. He's dumped by McGlynn. Crowd called ball again. Don't get it. Smith to Harris. And they get away with it, the Kangaroos. And they get away with a quarter-time lead by 9 points.
Not a great spectacle, to say the least. Both sides feeling their way. A lot of good players out of the team for the Hawks. They've readjusted somewhat, but they just need to move that ball a little bit quicker.
Dan, I think the pressure is far superior than what we think it is up there.
Is.
I think it just looks like it should be played with space and time, but there's very little space or time when the pressure's applied.
Perfect conditions for football, and it's quarter time here at Aurora Stadium in Launceston. And it's Dean Ladley's Kangaroos. The mouse that roared, the Kangaroos looking to take another big scalp, and they lead at quarter time 2-5-17 to Hawthorn 1-2-8.
Well, Ross, a little bit of a scrappy start. What were the instructions there at that quarter?
Well, yes, like the Kangaroos, we're trying to get a few numbers around the ball, which has meant there's been a lot of tackling and a lot of physical contests, and we like to play it in close as much as the Kangaroos do. We've just got to get a little bit cleaner with our disposal at the moment.
And you look after the back line. What did you say them at that quarter?
Yeah, just trying to bring it out and be a little bit cleaner with their disposal, try and probably get the ball on a little bit quicker than they have. You know, been a little bit stagnant at times, and we just need to get some run out of the back half.
Good luck in the second quarter.
Thanks, Smithy.
Smithy talking to Smithy.
Game of defences, David.
Oh,
Campbell Brown, 9 possessions. Birchall, 12. Bateman, 10. Hodge, 13. Jess Smith for the Kangaroos. Sinclair, 7. So, look, Crowd and Roughhead looked fairly dangerous when they had their opportunity. So, they've just got to be able to get it in there with a bit more penetration.
Look, I think they've actually structured up okay for these conditions, but at the moment the game's been dominated by possession, if you like, which unfortunately the end result has been the greatest lot of changeovers we've ever seen in the game of football.
Huddle's breaking. Second term not far away from getting underway. Perfect conditions for football. Quarter time here at Aurora Stadium, and it's the Kangaroos by 9 points. Two old teammates coaching against each other. Dean Ladley there, very animated, coaching against his old teammate Alistair Clarkson. Played together for 2 years at the Kangaroos. Alistair Clarkson, 93 games for the Roos.
Interesting, Dwayne, that the young Tom Murphy had a very long discussion, not animated, but a very deep discussion with the umpire not in charge of play. I was fascinated to see a young player trying to get an interpretation from an umpire over a long period of time in that break.
Here we see Tommy Murphy giving away a little bit of height on David Hale. Been competitive first quarter.
Second term underway in bright sunshine, and it's an easy one for Hamish McIntosh. Down towards Harris, but he missed it. Lewis got it, gave it to Campbell, to Bateman, and now wide from his boot to McGlynn, and he can launch a ball. He's only got a little leg, but he may be within range.
Well, their structure worked that time, Dan. They're 4 men who lock into the front half of what we call the rectangle. They have there's huge space from the centre bounce into that area. McGlynn was able to run, 40, 45 metres back to a kick, kicked over his head into the 50 metre without being infringed by players coming at him.
Kicked a goal last week, has virtually been good for a goal a game this year. Started on the bench this afternoon, and distance wasn't the worry. Behind. So Daniel Pratt entrusted with the kick in, short, and Watt has it in the back pocket.
Well, the Hawks need to kick those goals. Their last 3 set shots have all been behind, so they need to get the crowd into this game to get a little bit of life going.
Harvey stood tucked into the back pocket wide, and Brady Rawlings in his 150th. Back home in Tassie for the milestone game this afternoon. Hamish McIntosh along the boundary, straight to Lewis. The Hawks can reload. No, they won't. Shannon Grant.
Now Campbell on the inside, but just went too cute with that kick there, Jordan Lewis.
It's amazing how many turnovers there have been, given this is one of the biggest ovals in the AFL, certainly the widest.
And there's not a zephyr of breeze.
And great surface. This is the best surface in the AFL.
So space, no breeze, good surface. Simpson. This pumps a high bomb. Old-fashioned 70s kick toward half forward, thumped out of play.
What was better from Campbell Brown? Just launched himself there. A little bit of a chat to Ross Smith at quarter time.
You noticed that too?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Quite an intimate discussion.
Yeah, it was.
Free kick found from the throw-in. And play on advantage allowed. Crawford, most stopped. Crawford didn't. Gave it off to Ladson, to Bateman. Sends it long towards Roughhead. Got a fly at it. Got a hand on it. Knocked it down to Ferrito. Simpson. Captain from half-back. McIntosh. Harvey. One of the Brownlow medal favourites this year. Chips the kick. Well measured to Watt. Sends it inside 50 to Jones. One hand at it. Campbell Brown with him. Jones with a handball to Hale. Hesitant to Harvey. Runs inside 50. Sizes them up and kicks a behind.
Excellent speed there from Brent Harvey.
Didn't he just open them up?
Not much Rick Ladson could do there. That was just put the afterburners on.
And Brown's learnt from your advice at quarter time, Dan. He's got some body on him at long last.
Well, that's his strength. You've got to play to your strengths.
He's had 12 possessions already, Brent Harvey. 28 possessions last week against Melbourne. So the possession fest looks like continuing for him this afternoon. Lewis wide to Sewell. No one leading up. Forced to hand it to McGlynn. Hoping for the 1-2. Now to Hodge, whose left foot can kill you.
Clever.
And he finds Bateman, 50 from goal.
That was just a clever kick. If he had kicked the ball at the top of the square, he would have kicked it to an outnumbered forward line.
Bateman plays on, chips it too wide for Ladson. It's a strange afternoon of football here in Launceston, and we'll get a ball in.
Well, you see a left footer like Hodge go back on his right and drill that kick, square it up and drill it beautifully. And then a shorter kick over 25 on his normal foot, misses the mark by 6 metres.
So this is third versus fourth on the ladder, if you didn't know. Playing for second spot, McGlynn. It's the handball out to Crawford. Shoots a little wider. Ladson just hacks it to the top of the square. Big fly by Pratt. Gathered his own crumb. Watt. Handball out. Misses the target. Grant Sewell. Dumps it down McGlynn. And he gives us a holler. He's kicked it.
Well, and it was an excellent effort and good, what's the word, protection from McGlynn as he turned on his left. But I must admit, I closed my eyes. I thought this is more difficult than anything else that's happened today. Terrific, I guess, is it
Sewell
is a great attack on the ball and then a great shepherd to make sure his mate got time and space.
Well, they'll still be happy with that forward pressure there.
Yep.
Calls the turnover. You're going to cause a turnover deep. Normally it's a shot on goal, and McGlynn kicked truly.
First goal of the afternoon for Ben McGlynn. Been a good pick-up for the Hawks, taken essentially picked 126 in the draft because he wasn't picked in the main draft in 2004. Was picked up, picked 55 after that in the pre-season draft. From the ball up, Sewell. Try and get a spark now. Green got it out, but to Sinclair. And now Harris. Rawlings. Held up on the wing, Brady Rawlings. Chip kick, another turnover. Sinclair mops up the mess and bounces away from Hodge with ease. Short pass to Harvey. Held up by Ladson. Faked a little bit of an attempt to play on to try and get the 50. And Hale dives and takes the mark in the pocket.
Both sides have to play like this. Short kicks, try and work your way through the numbers around the half-forward line. It's not pretty.
I know.
Just got to be patient, but the key is the ball use. You have to be on with your skills.
And Harvey's been the exception, hasn't he, today? He's I think, almost every one of his disposals has been spot on.
David Hale, whose mother had a few words in the press about the way he was being taught the skills of life at the Kangaroos. Tough kick this. Starts it right, can't bring it back. Big fist, thumps it down. Grant, Jones, kicks it around the body, but it's wide and will battle to scrape in for a score just to behind.
Super defensive work there, Dan. Brownie's hit it about 50 metres. I mean, he did hit it back into play and give him another chance on it.
Lewis to Smith. Now Birchall. Straight down the corridor. Heads a little too wide for Crow. Pratt's with him. Kicks it out of play. And how the umpires see that? Not deliberate. A ball in. Rowan Smith.
Well, I think, Dwayne, both coaches are happy to have a shootout in the midfield at the moment. Really, the only heavy tag that's happening at the moment is Rawlings and Crawford, and Crawford's well on top of that at the moment.
From the ball in. Campbell, caught. Sewell, Lewis, crunch, Ladson. Back to Crawford. Back to Bateman. Caught by Sainsbury. Got rid of it illegally according to the umpire. Hodge got it from Sewell with a turnover. Brady rulings to Harris. They're on the move. Chip kick to Jones. Made it tough for him. Handball to Grant. He's caught. Dump. Jones. And now the chip kick by McMahon inside 50. Travelled the required distance. And Sainsbury will line up from about 40 metres out.
Well, you called it, Dan. I mean, in the finish, that was about the only option. It looked a short one, looked a delicate one, but it was a beautifully placed kick, and now a reasonable shot on goal after a very slow build-up.
So a 3-point margin in favour of the Kangaroos to make it 9. Slots it.
The team that used the ball forward to the centre by foot, the best today, will win this game of football, because both sides are happy to have numbers back behind the ball. If there's a slow build-up, we just see the Kangaroos, Corey Jones get the ball there, handball it out to Grant. A little bit of a scrimmage here, but you just see it's a smart kick. If he had a kick long, it would have went to an outnumbered situation. So just lowered his eyes and popped the ball into space for a very good mark there from Sainsbury in goal.
Clinton Young following Eddie Sainsbury around. Sainsbury in his 4th season. And Clinton Young coming off a 23 possession game last week against the Saints. That'll be a good battle. 25 plays 15. And the ball up. Allowed to play on to advantages Young. Taylor. And he looks up and sends it long to the square. Roughhead's down there at a one-on-one. Ferrito done some big jobs this year. And he wins out here to Sinclair. Harvey.
Excellent body strength, Ferrito. Had a super year.
He's really lifted a level this year. As have the Kangaroos, coincidentally. Petrie's kick to half forward. Brown collides. Takes out Swallow. Chip kick good to Van Berg. Now Gillum.
McGlynn's on.
And McGlynn doesn't get hit with the pass. Well, he does, but fingernails knocked into his chin. Sinclair got it from Hamish McIntosh. And gives it back again. Wide ball. And Swallow's okay. He was knocked down. He was on his knees and dropped back to his knees to take the mark on the wing. Kick a shocker off the side of the boot. Hale. Hand to it. Lewis ducked into the tackle. Umpire, no free there. Petrie shoots it out to Green. Wider. Swallow. Green again. Long towards the goal square. Hawks have got numbers back. Taylor can't mark. Jones somehow. A miracle. He's got 3.
Well, that's one of the best front and square goals you will ever see. The game needed something to step up, and Corey Jones, he's been a live wire up in the forward line. We see a contest there, but this shot on goal, the front square, long kick to the top of the square, but have a look at Corey Jones, just in a magnificent position, just found the gap through a lot of legs. That's a magnificent goal.
Wonderful take, but to get a hand through the ball onto foot as quickly as that and accurately, that's a super effort.
3 goals to Corey Jones.
Alistair Clarkson's got a little bit of a dilemma now. He's best defender. He's a great year, Campbell Brown. It's on Corey Jones. I think he needs to keep him on him, but 3 goals won in a low-scoring game. It's a big effort.
Taylor in the ruck, down to Hodge. They need some inspiration from somewhere. Lewis, inside 50 towards Dixon. No Lance Franklin, of course. No Sam Mitchell for the Hawks either. Play on advantage. And no, it'll come back. It wasn't to the Hawks.
Interference to Sinclair, got hit in the face in that earlier contest.
Okay.
Yeah, too high there from Ben Dixon.
It's a square up for Lance Piccioni.
Well, to do something about Dixon because...
going back a long way there, Dwayne.
Well, Hawthorn fans have got long memories. Ben Dixon's been on the list a long time.
Dixon's one they need something out of, actually.
Short pass.
You've got a very good memory too, Dwayne.
Yeah, Jess Sinclair won't be all that happy it was raised, but these two teams battle and they've drawn a lot of lines in the sand over time. Archer. Speaking of drawing lines in the sand, draws one a week. Just pumps a long kick to half forward. Dropping a little short. Petrie flies. Can't mark. Kick towards full forward. Hale was down there. Good tackle on Murphy. Knocked out to Taylor. Boundary line. And McMahon helps it across. We'll get a ball in.
Big man was smart enough to know he wasn't clever enough to get that, was he?
A little bit of a difference at the moment. Hawthorn missed Mark Williams, that front and square type player. Kangaroos have got they've got Wyman, they've got Brent Harvey. They're very good round the front and square stoppages.
Vandenberg caught a little high by Jones. Umpire said play on. Lewis, Campbell Brown, Ladson, Guerra. And the Hawks slow from halfback. Guerra slow to Smith. And he heads around the boundary line to McGlynn. So at least they've maintained possession.
High work rate, McGlynn.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Watch him play. He starts half forward. He's got this ball behind the square and now push forward and try and get the ball again.
Gillum tries to spear the pass to Sewell. Missed him completely. Wyman caught a little high. Hodge, Vandenberg,
Can he find
Lewis.
Taylor?
Finds Taylor. Thought about playing on. Took a netball step. Oh, he's called to play on. That was a half a step. Vandenberg pumps it inside 50. Chance for Dowler to fly. Crode picks it up. Handballs to Dixon. Kick around the body. Spectacular. Hawks get one back.
Well, told you had to do something. I think he touched the ball once up until that stage and done nothing. He actually manufactured a goal after a very good contest earlier. But, gosh, the build-ups have been poor and slow. They really have. And I think unless somebody takes the risk and goes in a bit harder and a bit earlier, we're going to see a game like we saw here last time. You know, what was the result last time? About 7 goals to 4.
He's an opportunist, Ben Dixon. They only have 2 possessions for 1 goal.
First goal of the afternoon for Ben Dixon. It's his 269th goal, which takes him inside the Hawthorn top 10 goal kickers of all time. Bert Hyde with 269 as well. He's been a grand player, Ben Dixon. This is his 13th year at the club. From the ball up. Hale going nowhere. Brought down. And a legging free kick. No advantage to play on for Vandenberg. So it'll come back. McMahon had him tied up quickly. Lewis. Kangaroos getting numbers back. 10-point margin. And Lewis pumps it along. Roughhead in a good spot to leap. Played for the free. Got it. Play on advantage. Hodge from the pocket. Kicks it behind. Amazing that he played on and amazing that he was allowed to.
Well, I'm with you, Dwayne. It's just amazing set of circumstances.
Smother on the wing. Vandenberg got it from Crawford, gave it back. So old and new captains combining. Birchall, Crawford, Lewis, trouble, caught by Jones. Took a long time holding the ball.
That was a good decision.
It was a good decision.
He just held the
50.
ball. Yeah, he held the ball too long in the tackle.
Whoa! He's put Harris down.
Yeah.
Lewis.
The umpire's coming in here to Lewis.
Lewis has put Harris down, and it might be a double 50 here against Lewis. It's on.
Well, I think Lewis is in real trouble.
Kieran Nichols is having a look.
Yeah, double
another
50. So that'll take him to the goal line, and Lewis will come off, surely. Well, he's a tough nut. He's a wild boy from Warrnambool. But he just got out of control a little there. And Corey Jones for his 4th from the goal line. And the Hawks are on the ropes.
Well, they can do all they like. But you called it accurately, both of you. The ball was held far too long before he finally released it. And the reaction, I thought, of the individual, he's obviously bait the umpire, first of all verbally, and then physically taken it out on one of the opposition.
We just see the scuffle there. I think it was more of a push, Dwayne, a push down, and Harris obviously took a dive to milk it. There's always going to be another 50.
4 goals now for Corey Jones, and we'll have a look at that on slow-mo, the clash, but he's gone into the book, Jordan Lewis. It looked to be open hand, but it was the kind of pressure that, in karate terms, with the open hand, you might have broken a few roof tiles.
Well, if there's a report, Dwayne, I don't think we can show that again. That's the rules.
From the ball up, Grant dumped. I'm not sure there was a report, Danny.
No, there is.
There is.
There's a report.
No,
I saw his...
back in his...
I'm just saying that so we can see it again.
Oh,
we're not too quick here, are we?
very good, Dwayne.
From the ball up. No one going anywhere, and we'll get a free kick out of the middle. Everything going the Kangaroos' way at the moment.
Well, the intensity's gone up because of it. That says something about the way the game was being played prior to that point.
Hale. Tough one for Rawlings. Good punch by Young. They're hot on the rebound. Short pass, okay. Dowler back to Young. 1-on-1 lead from full forward. Crow. Good fist by Pratt. And almost earned himself a free kick in the process. Some say he's been in All-Australian form this year, Daniel Pratt. He probably wouldn't get a mention at All-Australian selection because normally you need to have a couple of good seasons or at least one under your belt before you get in. But he has been outstanding this year in defence. And he tackles Crow here, dumps him to the ground. Dowler's caught. Pratt back in, and we'll get a ball up.
And just on that, Dwayne, I think that the way that North Melbourne have been playing this season is because of their backline and their unheralded players in Pratt, Ferrito, Watt. These type of guys that just do a job every week.
From the ball up, down to Wads Harvey. And a free kick's been found. It's going to Young.
So what he must have called that holding the man, and Young wasn't in possession of the ball. Very difficult one to call. I'd like to see that one again.
So Clinton Young, who started on the bench this afternoon, just a 21-year-old playing game number 37, has a very important kick for the Hawks and leaves it left out of play on the full.
It's 4 set shots for Hawthorn inside their forward 50. Here's the free kick here. Let's have a look.
Jesse Smith had an arm around him.
Yeah. Not a lot in that one.
It's a gentle arm. Jesse Smith flies.
More grapple.
And he gets the evening upper, Jesse Smith. 50. So the natives are restless here in Launceston. The Tassie Hawks not playing the kind of football they were hoping to see when they bought their ticket. Jesse Smith about to pump the Kangaroos inside 50. Heads wide, and Wyman takes the mark, maybe within range.
Ladson's now gone back to the back half. And making Ladson play as a key defender here at full back. So good coaching here, good kick, good lead.
Jaron Wyman in game number 2, 24 years of age this year. Rookie list player last year and was on the Hawthorn rookie list a couple of years ago. Wyman, and he threads it.
Magnificent goal there.
Good kick. He was at Hawthorn back in my time. And
Tigers.
That's exactly right. Went
North
off
Ballarat.
and did extremely well up there and got picked up. This system has worked for him because that's one of their teams, Kangaroos. So excellent kick, excellent finish, just at the time it was required.
He's a real live wire. He can really play the game of football.
First goal of the afternoon for Jaron Wyman in game number 2 for him. It's goal number 3 for his career so far, and he looks a lively prospect up forward. Ferrito drives. Ferrito's down. Rough head misses. Can you believe it? And Ferrito...
He landed awkwardly.
Yep. Knee or ankle, do you suspect, Danny?
Well, I'm not quite sure. All I know is he buckled. As soon as he hit the ground, his body weight left him, and he is in a lot of... Ooh. It was a little bit straight-legged for mine there, Dwayne. He's walking okay now, which is good.
Well,
it's good to see him running off. We can't afford to lose him, David, leading into the finals.
It looked a nasty one.
It did.
Archer got it from Watt. Down the line to Hale. So Ferrito off. Apart from that, things going well for the Kangaroos. The Hawks inaccurate with their kicking. And the Kangaroos with a handy lead as we're ticking to time on in this second term. Grant down the line and widely. Brown, half volley not too bad, although it carries it out of play and will get a ball in. 43 plays 23, 20-point lead to the Kangaroos, and Farito going straight into the rooms. Just repeating, Lance Franklin and Sam Mitchell, late withdrawals for the Hawks. As Sinclair sends it inside 50. Wyman, little push out, played for it, didn't get it. Bateman caught a little high, didn't get that either. Hodge, back to Smith, dumped. Casey Green caught, dumped. Wyman through traffic, aiming at his second. Can he bounce it home? You bet he can.
Well, that's another outstanding. We talk about teams that don't have quick, crumbing, front and square players who can actually make a difference on the ball. This is a terrific effort. He fights and works his hard through, gets a rebound ball, and in the finish, doesn't look at time and space is absolutely correct. Has a quick look and it's through before it can say Jack Robinson.
And Daniel Harris, 2 tackles there to create the spillage was absolutely sensational.
2 goals to Jaron Wyman. 49 plays 23, 26-point lead for the Kangaroos, and we're seeing a bit of a trend with mature age players being drafted late, or at least rookie listed late.
Great initiative from the AFL, the rookie system, fantastic.
And the clubs that use it well get a big payout from it. Sinclair heads wide towards Grant and Sainsbury. Sainsbury back into the corridor, sees Wyman, heads wider. Big fly McMahon, and it's against Smith. McMahon was given one and will line up from 50. 3 goals won last week, Scott McMahon.
And Sainsbury's done a good job too, hasn't he? He's been really a very creative part of this front half.
They're half forwards. That's where they've really improved the Kangaroos, these type of players. McMahon, Sainsbury, Wyman.
Sainsbury to McIntosh. Back to Sainsbury. Around Crowe. And pumps it along. Hale's got 3 to beat. Can't beat them all. Campbell Brown stands solidly and marks. Biggest lead of the game so far. The Kangaroos by 26. Roughhead, long way down from full forward. Lewis, back to Guerra. It's got Crawford, wants him, but Crawford not a lot of places to go. Forced to go back to Guerra. Running themselves even further back. Fullback. Murphy. And now Smith. Tuck. Debutant holds it up. Looks up and he's got a spare man at half forward. Taylor slips the pass inside 50. Dowler takes the mark.
Good ball use. Here's Travis Tuck's first kick in AFL football to Taylor. Probably one of the few times to see Hawthorn go really the length of the ground, David, without turning the ball over.
3 magnificent kicks, and they were often over the top into space and someone running on, which I think is the most difficult of all kicks.
So for the Kangaroos, Farito off and McMahon off. Both look to be injured. Bo Dowler, for his first goal in AFL football, kicks it out of play on the full.
Well, they haven't helped themselves, have they?
Well, he's led well, young Bo.
Yeah, they've had 5 or 6 set shots well within 50. None of them look like they'll score.
A dangerous kick short. Casey Green played with the West Coast in their grand final loss a couple of years ago. Had to stand back and watch them win the flag without him last year. Shorts it to Harvey. And Harvey finds Shannon Grant, whose grandfather played VFL for the Hawks many a year ago. Shannon Grant heads along the boundary line. Almost, not quite a mark paid. Taylor claims he held it. Umpire will have none of it. We'll get a ball up.
I was about to say their usage on the way out has been much better in choice and in execution, but reality was a poor kick to set up and allowed Hawthorn access a ball up from it.
Inside 3 minutes to half-time from the ball up. Sewell, Crawford, Bateman, McGlynn, Crawford. Just their finishing that needs some work. Lewis, chip kick by Ladson. There's the wobbly finish. Crowe played for the free and got it. He was dragged down, but it's all about the kick at goal now. They've been so inaccurate. They've been kicking not only behinds, they've got 5 behinds, but 4 out of play on the fulls as well.
It's been their set shots, David, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been terrible. You know, you couldn't draw any confidence from this at all. Crode's been an offender as well as 5 or 6 of his mates down there. This should be put away at a crucial time of kicking themselves out of the game when they do get an opportunity. They haven't created all that many inside 50.
50-50 goal scorer as well, Trent Crode, 8-8 this year. And if you're going to play full forward, you need to be a little bit better than that, 50-50.
That is their 6th shot from a set kick for 6 points. I know they've kicked a couple of goals from set shots, but they've missed 6 in a low-scoring game. That really deflates your confidence. Your back line gets deflated. The ability to run, carry, get the ball in there. When it keeps coming out like this, it has a deflating effect.
And a game, Dan, which has been played with such amount of run in the midfield. They've had to work so hard, these blokes. In the finish, it's going to be harder to create goals because the run and fatigue will count against it.
Shannon Grant again from half-back. 2 minutes from half-time. Sticks along the line, and mark is played to David Hale.
He's presenting pretty well too, isn't he? He's got much better as a presentation forward. Very pleased about him.
That's good news.
Yeah, it's good to see Ferrito jogging around the boundary line on his toes, which is great news.
Grant, Harvey and Sinclair combined to get it inside 50. Simpson, almost the one-hander, caught. Stolen by Campbell Brown to Vandenberg. Runs the half-back flank and turns it over. Harvey sends it back with interest. They maintain possession. Edwards, who's too far out to score. Aaron Edwards. It's been one of the success stories. Talking about mature age players being drafted. 100 goals last year in the VFL and won the JJ Liston Trophy for the best player in the competition and gets his second chance at AFL footy.
David, you're a premiership coach. What would Alistair Clarkson be saying at half-time? I'm tipping I know one word.
Well, yeah, the disposal, but I know it's one of those things, Dan, we'll talk about that.
Edwards inside 50 to McIntosh, who is having an outstanding 5th season of AFL footy. He was pick 9 back in 2002, turns 23 this year during the finals, and he is one of the reasons why the Kangaroos have stepped up this year. Hamish McIntosh having a great year.
Well, Taylor lost McIntosh. Should have been one-on-one there. We just see Taylor running in at the end of play, but you can't allow your ruckman to push forward and take a mark against the back pocket.
Coming in for possession, number 14, and his first goal of the afternoon. And he wobbles at home. They're in deep trouble, the Hawks.
But Dan, yeah, we're going to go back to, as a coach, you come in. The moment I believe you start to focus on, and this they've worked hard to get it, and they've had a hell of a lot of the ball, you'll start to create some figures at half-time, how much ball they've had. And the very question, it's not so much about have you made a good choice or not. Most of the choices have been, in fact, right. It's just been their inability to take it from hand to foot and give their mate up the ground a reasonable chance to get it. Focus on it, and it becomes even worse.
Well, McIntosh's goal, Trent Crode's had a shot on goal. Doesn't score, goes straight down the other end, and McIntosh kicks a...
And who was what was the more difficult shot? McIntosh's, yeah.
From the ball up, Hodge tried to hack it out of mid-air, unsuccessful. Sainsbury knocked it further on. Lee Brown dived in, pack form, Sainsbury gets it wide to Grant, and they're away again. Not enough time for a kick. But they'd be pretty happy with their opening half's work at the office, the Kangaroos. They're away from home. The Hawks have got a great record here. They've won their past 5 games here in Launceston, the Hawks. It's been a fortress, but Dean Laidley's men have the upper hand at the long break. 8-7-55 the Kangaroos to the Hawks. 3-6-24. half-time here at Aurora Stadium in Launceston, and it's a 31-point lead to the Kangaroos. Against the odds somewhat. No Lance Franklin for the Hawks, so their main full forward, who's kicked 49 goals this season, not playing in their main in-the-middle man, Sam Mitchell, also a late withdrawal for the Hawks this afternoon. But they haven't looked all that good when they've had the ball, Danny, and that's been the problem.
Well, it has. Have a look. 205 disposals, 68 possessions per goal. The Kangaroos, on the other hand, are going 23 disposals per goal. They're winning the uncontested possessions, Hawthorn, but the Kangaroos, we know they win the contested possessions. Dean May will be pretty happy going to half-time. Hale and Petrie have been fairly quiet, but it's their smaller type forwards that have really given the lead at half-time.
And how do the Hawks fix their ball use?
Well, they've just got to have confidence, and that's been the real worry in the first half, Dwayne. They've got a heap of ball. The decisions they've been hitting have been okay, but they're just trying to get too cute. Get the ball long and wide to a little bit of space and get some run and carry. They're trying to thread the needle a little bit, but at times just the easiest possession has been turned over, and the Kangaroos have really hurt them going the other way. And their set shots for goal also has really hurt the Hawthorn team.
Yeah, it's been amazing how many possessions per goal the Hawks have had. It's, I think, 3 times the possessions per goal rate of the Kangaroos, so it really has been their ball use that's cost them big time, the Hawks. The bad news for the Kangaroos, a couple of injury worries, Ferrito and McMahon.
Well, McMahon, in a marking duel, looked like he hurt his knee or his leg. The positive Aussie is jogging at half-time, but it looked fairly nasty there, Ferrito, sorry, and that was a really ordinary effort there. We see him just after half-time, and McMahon, I believe, hurt his arm or his hand, and he didn't take part after that, so I'll be interested to see how they go in the second half-time.
The other side of the coin, though, is that Corey Jones has been outstanding up forward. He's kicked 4 goals for the afternoon so far.
Excellent, excellent player. Playing on one of the best defenders in the competition too, in Campbell Brown. He really has set the Kangaroos alight in a substandard half of football. He's been the difference so far. The tall forwards have been okay, but it's guys like Jones. He's been absolutely terrific. Look at that front and square goal there. Just threaded the needle beautifully. That is just a magnificent front and square goal. 4 goals in a half of footy. That's a fantastic effort.
And the Kangaroos have been able to find the hole in strange circumstances. Jaron Wyman, outstanding again with 2 goals in the second term.
Absolute live wire, and you see here again, comes onto the ground, great coaching from Dean Laidley. That is just class, that is skill, that is fantastic. Only playing his second game, kicked a couple of goals last week. Great to see the young fellow kick a couple of goals.
Kangaroos by 31 points at half-time. The Hawks, they've got a fortress here. They haven't lost one of their last 5 here at Launceston. We'll see whether they hit back after the break. Bright blue skies here in Launceston at Aurora Stadium, and almost a full house here watching 3rd versus 4th on the AFL ladder. Play for 2nd spot. The winner will rise to 2nd spot at the end of this round. Down there in the sunshine, Rowan Smith.
Well, last week you've seen St Kilda shut down the run of Hawthorn, and North Melbourne have basically done that again today. So I think they need to get Luke Hodge. They moved him back last week into defence just to get a little bit of run out of there. They'll certainly need that drive through the midfield today. And just the updates on Michael Ferrito, it definitely was his back, boys. So a lot of people were saying that it might have been his knee or his ankle, anything like that, but it was his back. It was definitely his back. So he'll be right to go in this second half. And young Scott McMahon was on his hand. So it's his left hand, and they were worried about that, but he should be okay as well in this second half.
Good stuff, Rowan. Good to see that Michael Ferrito is able to take his spot on the field for the start of this second half. It's a great spectacle here in Launceston when the full house comes in to see the Tasmanian Hawks. And the Kangaroos have their measure at the moment. They've won their past 5 games here, the Hawks. But their run is in danger of being stopped. The Kangaroos searching for 2nd spot on the ladder.
The Hawks have won the possession count, but the Kangaroos have won the contested possession count.
Wobbly bounce to start this second half. Lewis over it, caught. Simpson extracts it to Hamish McIntosh. Brady Rawlings having a good game in his 150th. Slips the handball back to Harris. And now back to Jesse Smith. Tries to get around Young. Centering kick, but no one home. Guerra. Birchall. And he heads wide. Bodala. Bouncing ball. Late inclusion with Sam Mitchell and Lance Franklin out. and he kicks it out of play on the full.
Not the start Hawthorn were looking for, more importantly, Alistair Clarkson, David.
I think you're spot on. Crode's gone back. They need a Crode at both ends of the ground. He's the big, strong body they lack down there.
Archer to half forward. Sinclair. After a good mark from Casey Green. Gives it to Harvey, who bounces inside 50. Takes them all on. Slips the handball out. Grant around the body. And it's way across the face. Edwards marks it, but he's across the boundary line, out of play on the full.
Well, they've just not been able to run and distribute, Hawthorn. When they've got the ball, they even look tired now. They're not providing the options with the run that they'd hope, and Kangaroos have shut them down beautifully.
Campbell gets it from Lewis, gives to Birchall, who has to go back into the middle. It's cut off by Corey Jones. He's got 4 goals to his name this afternoon so far. Grant collects on the bounce, chips inside 50. Edwards on the dive, takes the mark. Aaron Edwards to line up from inside 50, and this is well within his repertoire.
What a matchup we've got here at the other end, Dwayne. Campbell Brown's gone to the forward line on Glenn Archer.
That's going to be a ripper too.
As we mentioned, 100 goals in the VFL last year. Aaron Edwards having his second crack at AFL football after playing 4 games for the West Coast Eagles. And he did that in the opening term, kicked across the face, but Hale grabs the mark, chips the pass to the goal scorer of the afternoon, Corey Jones.
Well, that's not good enough. The Hawthorn defence, more importantly, the ruckman in Robbie Campbell, have to come in with the flight of the ball on a 90-degree angle and hit the ball through for a point. We just see here their big toes are stuck on the ground. Someone had to come in with the flight of the ball and kill the ball.
They almost conceded that it was going through. The only person who went to make something out of it was the bloke who eventually caught it.
Corey Jones had a 38-goal season a couple of years ago, 38-32. And he's on track to beat that this year, although that's a miss he won't be happy with. That was for number 5 for the afternoon. There's glad wrap on those goals. No one can get it through at that end. So the Hawks have been untidy from the opening bounce. So many turnovers. Guerra gets it from the kick in wide to Sewell. 56-24. And Sewell just hacks it along the line. Watt front spot. Got his arm thumped by Dowler. Gets the free. 9th season for Shannon Watt, drafted as a 16-year-old, which doesn't happen anymore. Drafted under the old rules. Spears it and thumped out of play by Young.
Well, Young Dowler on Shannon Watt there. He's playing the half-forward line. Just needs to play in front of Shannon Watt in that last marking contest there.
And the ball in. McIntosh, front spot against Campbell. Simpson. And he was held. Adam Simpson. Spent a bit of time living here with his parents, Adam Simpson, in Tasmania, Launceston and Hobart, as well as Papua New Guinea for a short time. And he shorts it to Harris. Having a good season as well, Adam Simpson. The general, underrated captain in many respects. Harris finds Hale. Speaking of good seasons, it's taken a while to play this kind of football, David Hale, after being picked 7 in the Super Draft back in 2001, the Hodge-Judd draft. He heads it long, Hale, inside 50. Campbell, Birchall, good tackle, Harvey. Smith's under pressure here, shoots it out to Sewell, who's somehow against the flow. Back to Gillum, who can rush it behind, doesn't want to Birchall. From half back to Crode. And now Shane Crawford. Just pops the pass to Ladson. Birchall.
It's a bit of build-up through the middle of the ground.
Short pass, and Bateman on the move, takes the mark. Well, he was the hero for the Hawks here a couple of years ago, Chance Bateman, when he kicked a big-time goal on the siren to drag them across the line. And he's lining up out of the goal square in this 3rd term. He might be the go-to man again. No angle to contend with from 45, and he misses as well.
Well, they took a few risks down in the build-up that time. At least the delivery, they cut back inside via Crawford. They set the thing up properly. Just a pity they couldn't get the finish.
Well, Alistair gone for more leg speed in the forward line. He's gone with Campbell, Brown and Bateman. thrown in with Roughhead and Dowler. So he's got a good mix of tools.
Because that was a criticism, wasn't the first half? They had nothing at ground level that was going to provide any crumb and goal.
Turnover, Guerra got it from Hodge. Inside 50, again no one home. Pratt can take it through if he likes. He likes. And he plays on quickly to Rawlings. And it'll come back to Daniel Pratt. Second turn at the Kangaroos, drafted by the Roos. Pick 42 back in 2000, delisted by Dean Laidley. Went up and played 3 games for the Brisbane Lions, and Dean Laidley's got him back again. Rawlings, little 1-2 with Simpson perhaps. There it is. Draw the player, give it on. Harris, Harvey, Ferrito, and now Casey Green on the burst. Kicks to full forward, high kick. Edwards flies. Big mark taken by Petrie, and he kicks the goal.
What a great build-up. Attacking football at best there, Parko, because we saw the back line of the Kangaroos just run through the middle of the ground with hands. Ferrito's handball was terrific. Again, kicking long to the square. We see Edwards and Petrie. Petrie knew that it wasn't going to be a mark as Edwards had it first and just had the awareness to get the ball onto his boot. We see Aaron Edwards get first bite of the ball. That was just a great goal.
And Petrie grabbed the spill. Look, it was a great goal because the risk taken all the way with the hands and the feet was fantastic.
First goal of the afternoon for Drew Petrie, 24th goal of the season, coming off a 3-goal performance last week. And Glenn Archer having a rest. The Kangaroos look solid. 62 to 26 from the ball up. It's probably our fault that we keep being surprised by the Kangaroos. We shouldn't be surprised. They're at the top end of the ladder. They're a genuine premiership contender.
Correct weight, Dwayne.
And they're doing the job on the Hawks.
And there's not obvious weaknesses, Dwayne, in their structure or the way they play.
And the ball up. Hodge drives it to half forward. Pratt, Bateman, Campbell, Brown. Pratt chasing him down. Did well, Daniel Pratt. That's why they got him back again. And he's been a sensation this year. Harris, Sinclair, Watt. He waited for it. Guerra, Campbell, Brown into traffic. Good tackle. Kangaroos numbers back. Hand up to Ferrito. Jesse Smith did magnificently.
And all the Kangaroos players need to be applauded. They're in Campbell Brown, but Ferrito's tackle to stop Campbell Brown in his tracks was just great contest football.
Rawlings. From Devonport. Chip kick. Simpson.
Yes, they know when to unleash, don't they, the Kangaroos? They know when to hold up and they know when to square it. They know when to go short and they know when to go long. They've just got a great team discipline.
If Ferrito had a bad back, that definitely would have tested it out.
Hamish McIntosh along the line towards Harvey. 2 old stages, 2 brilliant old stages. Harvey and Crawford side by side. Harvey gets away from Crawford. Got on the end of the Jones handball. The kick not so good. Mark taken by Guerra. Wide to Dowler. Needs to hit a target with his kick. He's missed a couple of shots at goal. Goes with the handball instead to Ladson. Crowed. Held up. 62 to 26. Sends it inside 50. Roughhead the target. Big pack. Ferrito had it but lost it. Bateman lays the tackle. And it was too high. It'll come back.
Still, it was the right. Bateman got in. It was the right crumb, wasn't it? Just
sometimes you learn a little bit from a defeat, David, because Hawthorn looked a lot more dangerous in their forward line with Bateman and Brown. I know he gave a free kick away, but a lot more life in the Hawthorn forward line this quarter.
Casey Green having a good year as well. The Roos drafted him pick 45 back in 2005 after he was simply delisted by the West Coast, not traded. That was the tackle. And Green's kicked wide off hands and will get a ball in. And there is a man with a big responsibility on his shoulders, Simon Taylor, in the ruck from Hutchins School down here in Tasmania. He's 25 years of age next month, Simon Taylor. So maturing and needs to step up. In the absence of Peter Everett especially. Sewell wide to Crawford. Straight down the corridor with some time and space. He can go all the way. He knows he can roll it home. Heads to full forward. Campbell or Brown snaps and it's wide.
But the call's right. The speed of the ball, the speed of the movement in, but then the speed of the players at ground level. They're far too bulky, so slow in the first half to make any opportunity for stuff that wasn't coming in exactly right.
Ferrito back to Pratt, who sends it to Jesse Smith. Simpson. Over the top to Rawlings. Swallow. Just off the bench. Casey Green. Good build-up. Hamish McIntosh in space. Wobbles it to full forward. Jones again. And he's got it.
Free kick, I think, Dwayne off the ball.
Okay.
To Trent Craig.
Against Wyman. Gee, that was a let-off.
Was a let-off.
The crowd enjoyed it. Birchall got it from Crode. And now a wide kick from the boot of Murphy. Smith. Chip kick from Hodge. Now Taylor in the middle. Guerra. Wide ball and Tuck's got it on the wing. The debutant. Late replacement for Sam Mitchell. Inside 50. And McLean thought about playing on.
If they're smaller players,
Yes,
the Hawthorn quick, smaller players are getting back into the game here. McGlynn, Campbell Brown's been a very good move forward. Bateman. Been excellent.
Even Vanderberg, Richie's done a couple of things now with a bit of fire and strength.
McGlynn's got one. Only the 6 possessions so far this afternoon for Ben McGlynn. This an important 7th. Not bad off the boot, but again it misses to the near side. It's hard to believe their inaccuracy. This is their home ground technically. Rowan Smith.
I said at half-time they might move Luke Hodge down back. They've actually moved Shane Crawford down back, and he's opposed to Brent Harvey at the moment, so that's going to be a terrific matchup in the second half.
It's Brent Harvey in his 233rd game, and Shane Crawford 284th. From the wing, Crode to Crawford, gets one back on Harvey, and now to Tuck, who says, I want to go long to Roughhead, who's got 4 to beat. Can't beat them all, and Edwards drifting back in defence to lend a hand. Adam Simpson.
Harvey's out now.
Pratt wobbles toward Harvey on half forward. Guerra ties him up. He's over it. Harvey's got him. Stolen by Sainsbury. Did that well to Rawlings, who can send it inside 50. He could go all the way. Bounces to the paint. Sizes them up. Goal square. Misses. Gee, had McMahon lurking as well on the line. Only a behind.
That last forward entry from Hawthorn to Roughhead, gone to a 4-on-1.
There's got to be somebody else.
Well, there was.
Yeah,
there was Bateman and McGlynn.
Yeah.
Taylor and Crawford. Wyman. Edwards. Harvey. Not 15. And Spears at home.
A direct result, unfortunately, of Crawford's mishandle at half-back. He was 25 or 30 metres in front of Harvey. Mucked up a hand pass, went back over the top. Harvey had a freebie virtually in the finish.
He's been super, Harvey. 25 disposal. That's his first goal. Had Ladson on him early. Ran Ladson into the ground. Comes off the ground after kicking a goal. Absolutely sensational game and a sensational year for Brent Harvey.
And I don't think he's had a better year. When you talk about champion players, longevity's got to be one of the to be playing the quality of football now that he is just a super story.
And Dean Laley would love that. Brent Harvey is absolutely spent.
26 possessions for Brent Harvey.
Magnificent one.
And he could be a contender
Well,
come Brownlow night. Yeah, well, for a flag as well. There's only a couple of things he hasn't won in his career, and Norm Smith's one, and a Brownlow's the other. Sinclair feeds it off. They're looking strong at the moment. Shannon Grant, Jesse Smith, just working it back into the corridor, although Swallow takes it back out again. McMahon looked to be injured in the opening half, but looks okay now. And Corey Jones slaps it toward the boundary. Smith keeping up with the Joneses this time on a rare occasion. Ladson finds McGlynn. Chip kick. Vandenberg slipped. Ball back alive again. Handball out, finds Rawlings from Smith. Stolen back by Sewell. And now Bateman to Crawford. With Harvey off, Crawford a chance to make an impact. Roughhead caught, almost dacked. Pratt. And now Rawlings wobbles it towards the wing. Harris waiting under it. Ball eludes him. Will get a ball in. 69 plays 28. And the Hawks don't look like they'll be able to come back.
Well, one of the sad things about Roughhead, unless he actually marks the ball on the way in and creates a bit of havoc with that, he can't do anything on the way out at all. He's taken 2 marks for the day and not contributing at all.
From the ball in, Sewell finds it back to Vandenberg in just his 2nd game of the year. The tuck, Young, tuck. Taylor looks up and sees Dixon on the move. It's in front of him. Watt, Dixon. Watt gets there first. McMahon, Grant, McMahon with space. Heads long. Edwards on the 2nd grab. They're looking stronger by the minute, the Kangaroos.
That's the difference. They're clean with their hands. They're clean with their disposal.
Inside 50 from Edwards. Jones got a little nudge. Smith, Jones, Wyman. Smith hands it up. Birchall. Jones has got him. Tuck under pressure. Hale. Wyman slips it up to McMahon. Umpire said it was a throw. They get out of trouble, the Hawks. We're about to tick into time on 3rd term. 69 plays 28. They've won their last 5 down here, the Hawks. But the Kangaroos looking very solid at the moment. Crow. Murphy. To the midfield to Sewell. He's got Chance Bateman. He's got Roughhead on the move. Tries to hit him with a pass. Roughhead had it but lost it. Gets it back again and kicks it out of play in the full. This is the same Hawthorn that's 3rd on the ladder. Believe it or not. The form has dropped over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And this will disturb Alistair Clarkson, even though Sam Mitchell and also Lance Franklin are playing this afternoon.
It's not an out, Dwayne, but when you lose Boyle, Tim Boyle, Franklin and young Mitch Thorpe, there's 3 guys over 6'5".
Yep.
They catch it. Your run and carry improves. Your disposal improves. They've had to play games plan B today.
Yep. Almost as tough as losing Nathan Thompson and Daniel Wells, which is tough too.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Daniel Wells named this afternoon. Of course, Nathan Thompson won't be back this year, but Wells was named and didn't take place in the 22. Grant bounces down the corridor to Harris. Every Hawthorn player flooding back now. Harris takes on Lewis, gets around him, but the kick half smothered. Ricochets toward McGlynn. Vandenberg. Gillum to Birchall. Shoots it wide. Young. He can set it up. He's got space on the wing to have a bounce. Can have a second if he wants to. Watt corrals him. Forces him to go long with the bomb. Crawford. Rawlings. Crawford getting back. Unkind bounce. Rawlings got it and they're away again. Ferrito to Pratt. And with poise, back to Jesse Smith at full back. Now down the middle, Hale. Petrie holds it up. Sinclair peeled off for him, but he ignored it. Inside 5 minutes to 3/4 time, Sinclair again. Harris takes on McGlynn and chips the pass to the leading McMahon. And he got crunched, and he'll get the free. Scott McMahon.
It was a good contest from young Murphy also. He's always going to mark the ball. True defenders fashion, David.
They've got all the answers they have now, the Kangaroos. They've got all the answers. Every element of the play, they've been superior.
He just pops it to the hot spot and forces the fierce, dangerous zone. Lee Brown shrugged the tackle, but kicked it wide, only a behind.
He's probably one of the few players who've been fairly quiet today, is Lee Brown. The others have all done their bit.
Well, again, in Kangaroos fashion, the contested possession, it's all the Kangaroos way, 82-64.
That is a thrashing in that department.
Birchall tucked into the back pocket. Really only way is to just hack it along the line and get it out of the area. Hodge with 2 to beat, searches for the boundary line, gets it, will get a ball in.
And the physical sides, Dan, have been the ones consistently who have prevented Hawthorn playing in the way that they want to play. They've brought it back, they've stopped their run and their usage through the corridor, and they've done it again today, the Kangaroos.
From the ball in, Hodge runs into trouble, tied up by Swallow, appeals for the 3, doesn't get it. And we'll get another ball up. A bounce. It's a stunned crowd at the moment. Petrie sends it inside 50. Majority of the people here, Hawthorn followers, they've seen their team rise over the last season and a bit, playing their games out of Launceston and winning them. But this afternoon, it's going to be a rare loss if things don't change rapidly. Guerra. Lewis. And he heads wide towards Campbell, who takes the mark.
The biggest
Inside 3 minutes to three-quarter time.
The biggest disappointment has been their ball use, but even and the scoreboard's indicative of where the game should be, but their set shots for goal have really cost them also, the Hawks.
Crode pumps it in long. Pratt, fist on it, thumps it down to McGlynn from 40. High kick, not bad off the boot, hits the post. Nothing going right for the Hawks.
He's worked his way into the game, Ben McGlynn. He stood up this quarter. He's only had the 5 possessions in the first half, but he's really tried hard. He's competed hard. He deserved that goal.
Chance for Young. Ferrito with him. Up against the boundary line, taking him out is exactly what he needed to do. With 2 minutes left on the clock to three-quarter time.
What was Young doing there? I mean, was he after a free kick? He got a bit of a tip in the head or something? Why didn't he mark the ball?
Well, just had to go harder, stronger at the contest there, David. Hold his ground in the marking duel.
Campbell thumps it down. Sewell threads his way through traffic, trying to inspire them. Pratt in a one-on-one with Brown. Brown and Pratt. Pratt wins again. And chips the kick, and they're away. McMahon from half-back. Edwards the target on the wing. Flies. Manhandled a little. Umpire said it was okay. Gillum short to Tuck. And the debutante's been impressive. Travis Tuck to the midfield to Campbell. Over the top of the handball. Young almost threw that to Lewis. He sends it inside 50 wide. Ferrito gets back. Dixon no option but to spoil. And with 1:34 left on the clock, Dixon tells his teammates off for not centering it.
The correct rate. That was just a kick in hope there from Jordan Lewis. Dixon was trying to get the ball to the fat side. Jordan just banged the ball into his boot with no thought whatsoever.
We'll be there till next week. Chewing on that lollipop from the kick. Young from 50. Inside 90 seconds. They need some inspiration. They get it.
Well, the one thing he can do is kick the ball. It is a prodigious kick that is over distance. His accuracy is most times been first rate. And I guess if you ever wanted to kick it, it was one of the more difficult ones they've set up for the day. He swung on his left on the wrong side and whacked it through. Goal umpire really didn't have to make too much of a consideration then.
A long time between drinks. Much needed goal. Just need back-to-back goals here going into the three-quarter time break.
Well, he'd been a little inaccurate this year coming into this game. Clinton Young, 3 goals, 8. And with the Hawks inaccurate all afternoon, he threads one from the pocket and keeps their chances alive from the ball up. Can they get another before the break? Hodge tied up. And we'll get a ball up.
Well, they have done that consistently, Dwayne, haven't they? They've tied them up in those contests. Even the ones which Hawthorn have won, which is significantly down. In fact, they've been immediately set upon and not been able to make good use.
You see the Kangaroos having 2 loose players, David, behind the ball just before three-quarter time. So Dean Laidley keen to make sure there's not another Hawthorn score.
Casey Green to Archer. Maybe a chance for a late Kangaroos score. Hamish McIntosh wide to Grant. He can hold it up if he wants to for the last crack. 50 seconds and counting. And he looks as if he knows. Wants to maintain possession, not turn it over, not give Hawthorn a last chance. Smith, he can come back. He's got plenty of options behind him. Loops it over the top to Corey Jones, who from 45 loads up for number 5. It's going, gone. And so might be the Hawks.
Well, that's smart play from the Kangaroos. Hawthorn got behind the ball. The one area that was vacant was just outside the forward 50 of the Kangaroos, so they worked the ball through with hands. You see here, if Jeff Smith had to kick the ball long, he looked up and thought, I can't kick long to Hawthorn, I'll run it through. And that was great awareness from young Jeff Smith. Very good player, makes good decisions, a beautiful kick, and Corey Jones, what a day out with 5 goals, sensational.
Five-goal afternoon so far for Corey Jones. We've got a quarter of football to come. And these two teams could meet in the finals. The Hawks are staring at a defeat this afternoon, but there's still a big chance to have an impact in September. And if these two teams do meet in September, this would be a massive confidence boost for the Kangaroo players. Ladson through the middle, Bateman back to Ladson. Lewis, 10 seconds, they need a mark. Inside 50 in a hurry, or a goal from Young. Hands it to Guerra. 5 seconds, missed him. And Corey Jones all the way back to half-back, lending a helping hand. He might have kicked 5, but he knew the score there. And it's a little bit of anger behind play. Brent Guerra having a chat to the umpire and to Jess Sinclair. It's three-quarter time here in Launceston. This is what it's for.
Well, here's the replay there. Brent Guerra. Great play from Corey Jones. He body-lined the ball, Corey Jones. Brent Guerra, he got out of the road.
Well, he's had a couple of scalps in his past, Brent Guerra, and
we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. You're spot on, Dwayne.
Some of the boys that he's collected have come off worse for wear.
That was the right call, Dan. He needed to stay online. It's a very indication to his mates what we're prepared not to do. At the same time, young Tuck's going off with a bad injury.
Three-quarter time here in Launceston. The Hawks staring at a rare defeat down here. Dean Laidley's boys impress again. Ferrito, and now Casey Green on the burst. Kicks to full forward, high kick. Edwards flies. Big mark taken by Petrie, and he kicks the goal. Second spot on the ladder looks like theirs tonight. The Kangaroos by 41 points here in Launceston at three-quarter time. Donald McDonald on the board. Darren Buick in there as well, and Dean Laidley would be a happy man. It's been a good afternoon at the office. Rowan Smith is downstairs with Danny Daly.
Well, Danny, it was a scrappy start of the game, but now you're well on top.
Yeah, look, obviously with a couple of their key players out there, concentrate on getting a couple of numbers back across half-back. Their women dropping off on that, so I suppose we got caught into just kicking the ball into them and not concentrating on our style of play as such, but we've picked that up in the last quarter or so.
So do you want to go deeper into your forward line?
Yeah, look, that quarter we probably only had 10 inside 50s. We didn't penetrate enough. We got caught mussing around with the footy and getting caught up across our half-back line rather than getting it in deep. So this quarter, obviously, quick ball movement and get it in as deep as we can.
Good luck in the last quarter.
Thanks, mate.
Beautiful afternoon for spectators and Kangaroo supporters alike. 41-point lead at three-quarter time, and looks like Jeff Kennett might be keeping that jacket the right way around this afternoon, unless something dramatically changes in this final term. Dean Laidley, his team tonight with a victory will be second on the ladder. Their premiership odds will shorten, and they were the last team to defeat Geelong this year, the Kangaroos. They've got to be a chance. I was still about 15-1 with bookmakers this week to win the flag, but a few of those teams watching back in Melbourne and around Australia, we might have to start doing a bit more homework on the Kangaroos.
Well, one thing you know about the Kangaroos, they'll compete, and again today they've won the contested possessions. Look, the game hasn't been a high spectacle. We've had over 600 possessions for only 15 goals, David, which is about 40 possessions per goal for both teams. And probably Hawthorn, what they need to focus on this quarter is win the hard ball and get it long to a contest if they can, if at all possible.
Well, you said it's gone from 68 disposals a goal to 77 over since half time. So they haven't got much better, but there's been a fair bit of, I would say, garbage disposal today in the true sense of the word. A lot of ball that's been used without great gain. But Hawthorn have been absolutely sorted out today by the Kangaroos' pressure on them. Kangaroos have done a bit better with their run, a bit better with their disposal, and certainly have got a good result from their entries into 50, unlike Hawthorn.
There's the injury to Travis Tuck, the first game at this afternoon. 19-year-old son of the great Michael Tuck, the AFL-VFL all-time games record holder with 426, and the brother of Richmond, Shane, as well. And hopefully he'll be able to come back on some stage in this final term. Hawthorn were almost compelled to take Travis Tuck under the father-son rule. They didn't take Shane, and he's proven to be pretty good for the Tigers.
Alistair Clarkson has now gone back to Trent Crode in the forward line and Campbell Brown down back. So he's going to flip-flop again, Paco.
Don't know that's going to help the end result.
41 points, the margin as it stands with a quarter of football to play. Hodge lost it. Offloaded Swallow. Rawlings to Grant. Again, the big guns firing. Kick toward the pocket. Hale left it behind. Corey Jones, who's got 5 for his afternoon. Back to McIntosh. To the goal square. Edwards flies. Can't mark it. Off hands Petrie. Tried to kick it out of midair behind. 76-35. Percentage will be a factor as well for the teams vying for positions in the top 8. The Kangaroos will be happy with the 4 points, but a big last term will be advantageous for them as well. Campbell inside 50 to Lewis, and once again body on the line, Daniel Pratt.
What's the story of the day? The Hawthorn Football Club, Robbie Campbell just chipped that ball up to Jordan Lewis and just about killed him.
You'd be going and grabbing him, wouldn't you? Put him down there, say, come and catch this, mate.
Swallow along the line, misses the target. Crawford.
He still saw Jordan Lewis too behind the ball after that contest.
Up the beauty.
Campbell Brown. Bouncing ball, made it tough. And Dowler's done okay. Although he's tied up now by Petrie, who rolls on him a little. And the umpire's given the third gamer the benefit of the doubt. Bo Dowler will get a ball up.
He was very lucky, Dwayne, because he did the biggest dive he could have done on the ball.
On the ball up. Still silent, this crowd. Grant, Harris, Harvey. Maybe some more Brownlow votes coming his way this afternoon. Jones, he'd have to be a contender for a couple, if not 3.
He has been absolutely super. And Smith did everything in his control to knock that away, and he still clamped his hands firmly on it.
He's got 39 goals for the season now, Corey Jones. Back into the corridor. And the mark taken by Jesse Smith. It looks like assigning his father to the losing team this afternoon. Casey Green. Inside 50. Robert Campbell dropped it. Shoots it back. And get out of trouble. Although it's tough for Campbell Brown. To Sewell. Bateman. Still held up at half back. Now he rolls it over the top to Ladson. It's got McGlynn. Can't break it in with one hand. Archer. Good battle. He's got the boundary line as a friend, and he disguised the fumble beautifully. Ball in.
One thing you don't want to do against Glenn Archer is try and take the ball one-handed. And I suppose that's the pressure of having a great defender bearing down on you, Parko.
I think he had looked to see who it was.
Archer lining up at half-back. It's been the general again. Ladson sends it wide. Lewis is down there, and Ferrito takes it out. Glenn Archer officially named the shin boner of the century, but he'll officially take the Roos games record in 3 weeks. Wayne Chimilowicz with 306 games, and this is number 304 for Glenn Archer. So what a milestone that's going to be in a couple of weeks. From the ball in, Sinclair tries to shuffle it out. Grant got it to McIntosh. Bounces close to the boundary line. Crawford keeps it alive to Roughhead. Campbell, Ladson, another off-target kick. Sewell made it look okay. Hands it off to Campbell Brown. Bounces to half forward. Thinks about going for goal. Short to McGlynn. Not 15. Brought down by Pratt. Dixon. Hammer to Hodge. Left foot kick. Distance never a worry, but it's out of play on the full, as so many shots at goal for the Hawks have been this afternoon.
Well, they can't get a result for anything, do they? Their infield kicking, their short and long, their shots at goal just bring up nothing.
4 goals, 11 they've kicked, and 7 out of bounds on the full for Hawthorn.
That's a disgraceful effort.
McIntosh towards Edwards. Strong hands, strong in the contest with his body. Takes it out of play. All in.
That stat alone has a deflating effect on the team, and it's been the story all day for the Hawks.
Gets even worse. That man on screen, Jordan Lewis, not that worrying hamstring injury, but is on report as well for an open hand hit, but a hit nonetheless. Harris caught, brought down by Hodge, will get a ball up.
This will tell the tale. Who'll give the ball back to the umpire?
Yeah.
A Kangaroos player.
That's true.
That to me tells a tale all day that they have been first to the ball, the Kangaroos.
Bit of old Tom Hafey coming out in you there, Spud.
Well, I've just been keeping an eye on it, Dwayne.
Lewis sends it wide, and Dowler can't get near it, and Watt thumps it out of play.
That is a mindset thing, though.
It is.
Be the last person up with the ball, even though the whistle's blown.
Well, their first hands on it, the Kangaroos, all day. And I think the scene was set early with young Campbell Brown with his efforts on Corey Jones. Didn't want to find the body.
Tommy also used to get angry if there was a photo in the paper and the opposition had more players around the contest in the photo than his team did. Archer to Sinclair, wobbles it. Lee Brown couldn't collect it. Over the top from Gillum. Ladson. McGlynn. Oh, and he's thrown one back on Jesse Smith. Guerra inside 50. Hit Archer in the back. Rough head to Crowe. A rare reason to cheer for Hawk fans.
Well, they did it well, but they did it hard in a sense. They used 7 or 8 handballs to set up outside the corridor, back in. The kick in that luckily got over the top, and a ricochet ended up in a perfect position to score. But at least they took some risks to move it reasonably quickly, bring it back into the corridor. Good goal.
Well, it's positive football. As I said, the thing about it too, David, they turned on the inside.
They did.
When they got the ball, they didn't turn outside the corridor. They got the ball through the corridor, which, you know, there's going to be more pressure there, but they have to do that to try and get back into this game of football.
First goal of the afternoon for Trent Crowe, who's spent the majority of the afternoon inside 50 in the absence of Lance Franklin this afternoon. And the ball up. Harris caught in the middle of packs, every ball up. Daniel Harris, and we'll get another ball up inside the centre circle virtually. (77-41). Lee Brown back on, replacing David Hale. And the ball up, Casey Green with the clearance. Bounce to half forward. Petrie to Grant. Sends it long. Edwards in the box seat. Big fly! One of the marks of the year.
What a magnificent grab. He launched himself. A great kick to the top of the square. But you just sensed, Dwayne, well called. Have a look at the replay here. Just uses Gillum as a step ladder. That is AFL football at its finest.
Well, it was worth coming just for that there. Oh, it was a terrific effort. And Petrie led Brown in, fed the hand pass off. Just a terrific pair of hands on the ball. Terrific effort.
To complete the deal, seal the 4 points. Nice finish, Aaron Edwards. One of the highlights of the season.
Well, they talked about Newton's 2 weeks ago for Melbourne, and that was a big grab, but this was just magnificent leap.
Well, he got horizontal after he marked the ball, which is absolutely sensational. Just see here the leap again. Gets a beautiful kick off Stevie Gillum's shoulder, and horizontal takes the ball. And if you come from overseas and say, what's our game about? So just come and watch this mark here.
Well, he's only a 180-84 too.
Well, you mentioned if you come from overseas and see our game, that's one of the beautiful parts of it, marks like that. But he, in fact, himself came from overseas. Aaron Edwards, born in Samoa. One of the rare Samoan players in our game. Mother's Samoan, father a Kiwi. And what a highlight that was. And the Kangaroos look like they've got the 4 points wrapped up.
Boys, Adam Simpson just started this game on the bench. So the first 8 minutes he's sat on the bench, and he's just had a little bit of a rub, and now he's got a free kick just come onto the ground.
Well, if he lifts the cup on that last Saturday in September, Adam Simpson, it won't be Adam Who anymore. Doesn't get a lot of press. Kick to half forward. Hamish McIntosh left it behind. Little toe poke by Sansbury inside 50. Taylor, Crowd, back into the corridor, into trouble. Ladson. And Ladson hasn't got a lot of places to go either. He goes back to Campbell Brown. Chips the pass to Joel Smith. Wants to play on. Gets the kick away, but it's wide. Gillum. Tuck. Birchall, who came down to Tassie a couple of days earlier than his teammates to see his family. Hasn't had a good afternoon at the office back home. Harvey. Brown. Jones. This would be appropriate from 45. He has 6.
What a game of football. 13-goal game for the Kangaroos. Corey Jones has kicked 6. But again, it was built up from the Kangaroos players being unconditional. Unconditional at the contest. They've won most of the 50-50 balls. And if you want to win big games of football, the Hawks have been asked a couple of questions now, David, about their efforts in the contest.
And Birchall got run down very, very badly, was unaware, and that caused the turnover.
th goal of the season for Corey Jones. 6 goals, 3 this afternoon. He's passed his best of a couple of seasons ago of 38. And the commitment level has been a total contrast, hasn't it, David, between Hawthorn and the Kangaroos this afternoon?
From gate away, Dwayne, it's been the same all the way. First bounce all the way through to now.
And the ball up. Hodge. Taylor. McGlynn. It's playing to get back a bit of pride at the moment, the Hawks. They know they can't win it. Towed all the way back to Young. 60 from goal. That's a long kick. Goal square, Roughhead. Off hands, Dowler. He's had 4 chances for his first goal in AFL football this afternoon. He's finally got it.
Well, the kid did well. I'm very pleased he has, and he's shown a little bit of life down there. But why wasn't it marked in the first place? There's absolutely no doubt that Roughhead should have caught that in the first place. Should never been in a position where a tall bloke had to crumb it and kick it back over his shoulder. And that's been the story of the day. Well,
Roughhead's best form, David, is when Franklin's played. True. All of a sudden, Roughhead now has got the best defender. Normally, Lance Franklin is the go-to player. So, look, that was great from Bodell. A good front and square goal.
Good to see Hawthorn's pick 6 from the 2005 draft in game number 3. Playing some good football. There's Lewis off. Bodella, of course, with that broken pelvis in a horrible car accident when he was drafted by the Hawks. But he looks like he's come from that okay. Didn't play last year. Just worked his way back. Lee Brown brought down in the tackle. Crawford. Smith. Hodge. Gillum. Took some time, turned it over. It's getting uglier by the minute in some respects. Boy, Petrie can line up.
It does sum it up. That passage of play there sums it up for the Kangaroos. One, their pressure and their tackling and their ferocious attack on the ball of the body. And Hawthorn just going about their business, trying to play uncontested football, lace-out football. Doesn't happen in big games.
Drew Petrie from 45. Percentage is going to be handy for the Kangaroos this afternoon.
If that's stage in this game, he had to take the risk and come down this side of the ground. He had people running, etc. But he was looking for an easy, simple way out. They went backwards and inside and gave the opposition a chance when all the time there were people and space and runners on this side of the ground. It's just a mindset at this stage won't allow them to play in the manner which they have to if they're going to go forward.
Well, they're playing to the scoreboard at the moment. They're reactive to the scoreboard. Don't worry about the score. We can't do much about that now. Take the game on.
A 2-goal afternoon for Drew Petrie. 25 goals for the season. More importantly, 25 goals, 9. You need your forwards to be accurate. 6-11 to 14-11 from the ball up. Nice back palm by Hale. They don't get the takeaway though. Hawthorn will come away with it. Kick by Tuck. Over the head of Roughhead. Played for the free. Dixon slaps it down. Jesse Smith to Jess Sinclair. Casey Green. Jesse Smith. It's got Hale. If he can hit him, takes the mark on the line. Nicely measured pass.
If I told you, David, that both sides were inside their forward 50, equal amount 42, would you believe me?
No, I wouldn't, but you're going to tell me that, aren't you?
I'm going to tell you.
No, I can imagine it, but gosh, the way it's been done by one side compared with the other one, couldn't, not in the same street.
Petrie enjoying their football at the moment, the Kangaroos. They'll be second on the AFL ladder tonight. Tuck, with his first AFL game under his belt, tied up, will get a ball up.
Well, that was good to see from Travis Tuck. 10 possessions. He's
And
done
he
enough.
went off sore. Didn't think he'd ever come back by the way he went off. He's come back as good as new.
Hale tied up, so Simpson flies, thumps it down. Hodge got a fist on it. Jess Sinclair's got Petrie. Petrie's got it and can send it inside 50. Jones is leading. He sends it wider. Good contest. Wyman, Grant there, ridden a little by Guerra. Ball thumped out. Wyman forced to lay the tackle. Brings it in on Dowler. McMahon, he's tied up and will get a ball up just outside 50 for the Kangaroos. 95 plays 47.
They'd be wrapped in that. His defensive work, Wyman to hold that ball, and then was just terrific.
Two of the young boys combining there. Scott McMahon, one of their NAB Rising Star nominees from this year also. And there's a free kick.
Free kick off the ball here, Dwayne.
And the players are a little
Yeah, I
confused.
think it's against Ladson to Harvey. I think that's who it is.
Okay, so Brent Harvey to take it.
Free kicks, Kangaroo 20, Hawthorn 12.
Possession number 28 coming up for Brent Harvey. He's got a few contenders for the Brownlow votes up against him this afternoon. Hale on the line, takes the mark.
Simon Taylor's his direct opponent. He's just guarding space at the moment, and his opponent in Hale is having a shot on goal.
Shorts it, looking for Sainsbury. And they're just having some fun at the moment, the Kangaroos. They know they've got it wrapped up. Lewis Vandenberg in his second game back. Be better for the run, the captain. Bateman. Lewis. Crawford. Dixon. Back to Bateman. Ladson. Tuck. Bateman. Over the top. Sewell. Didn't want to have a crack at the goals. And Richie Vandenberg finishes it with a high bomb to the square. Off hands, Crode runs in and wallpapers over a few Hawthorn cracks with his second.
I'm sorry. That's the worst forward entry of the day, I was thinking in my mind. How could that possibly set up a goal? It's gone 800 metres in the air and about 40 along. It's cleared everybody. And the big bloke was able to run onto a fish. Sorry, it was a fantastic forward thrust.
Well, Crode, we see in the marking duel, just pushed Pratt under the ball, and Pratt was always in danger once that high ball came, and Trent Crode had the strength and carry to kick that goal.
2-goal final term for Trent Crode. Don't underestimate the chaos ball inside 50, Parker.
No, I think you're right, Dwayne. I should have learnt that over 25 years of coaching.
You're right, Dwayne, because if the forward can't read it, the defender definitely can't.
From the ball up, Campbell thumps it down to Adam Simpson, who, as I said earlier, is the general, but doesn't get recognised as often as he should. Nor does Brady Rawlings, who sends it inside 50. Hale flies, back of the pack. Jones runs in. He has 7. Don't underestimate the chaos ball.
That's again. But how good's his crumbing? And he's reading off hands. He's done everything. He's marked it. He's crumbed it. He's kicked it around corners.
It's been excellent. But I'll be interested to have a look and see where his direct opponent is here, David. We see Corey Jones here, just in the. Joel Smith goes up with the ball. Now, if you're going to go up, you've got to get a piece of the ball and make a contest. This wasn't hard enough there, Joel Smith. Didn't want to know about the contest in that situation. His direct opponent makes him pay.
But what about the contest going, though? Harvey initially was the one who, at this stage of the game, just threw himself in and forced it across to Rawlings. Where are the Hawthorn players at the same time for the contest?
7-goal afternoon for Corey Jones. And we've still got 9 minutes to play in this final term. Ball inside 50 beats Ferrito. Forced to try and lay the tackle. Roughhead over the top, and Dowler gets his second.
Well, that might give him some encouragement too. Dowler has had, as I think Dwayne pointed out before, had a horrific run into football. Everybody said he was one of the more talented players before he broke his hip in the car accident, and slow coming back is now starting to look like he's got a bit of an idea about the game. Good size and shape, so for him to get a couple at the finish probably is a confidence booster.
The key was they got the ball out of the centre quickly, give their forwards a chance to win the ball one-on-one.
Two goals in his first game of 2007, Bo Dowler. He played 2 games last year. And in game number 3, he has been getting a taste for it. And with each passing minute, looks better and better from the ball up. Lewis might hit Dowler again. Long to the goal square, wrestle on, Crowd. Hassled, Roughhead. More wallpaper, but still big cracks. Roughhead's got his first.
Again, centre square clearance, give your forwards a great contest. It was great strength there from Trent Crowe, just held Pratt out. You see the long kick from Lewis go to the top of the square, really puts the defence under the pump. Good contest, Trent Crowe. And Roughhead kicks a front and square goal, something we don't usually see him do, but the key again, win the centre clearance out, give your forwards an opportunity.
23rd goal of the season for Jared Roughhead. First goal for the afternoon for him with his 10th possession. And the ball up, Crawford brought down by Rawlings. Good tackle. Harris couldn't break free. Ball shoots free to Lewis, who's on report. Sends it long. Dowler at half forward. With him is Watt. Hodge off hands. Left foot kick. And add another out of bounds on the full to the list of stats that have hurt Hawthorn this afternoon. Speaking of hurt, Shane Crawford hurt.
Well, it looks like he's coming straight off the ground too, Dwayne. We've just seen the tackle there. Just holding his left knee.
Yep.
The key to Hawthorn's scoring in the last couple of efforts has been they haven't been afraid to kick to a contest. Not worried about the uncontested style of play. Back your teammate in to win a one-on-one.
But you caught it well. Straight out the middle, straight in there without numbers being able to get back, and they were okay. One-on-one, they're always going to be a chance.
Ferrito has it at half back to Petrie. Travels the required 15 metres. And Drew Petrie, 2-goal afternoon for him. Shane Crawford. It's a little concerned. So no Mitchell this afternoon, no Franklin. Lewis on report. Crawford injured. Lewis finds Ladson. He's got Vandenberg peeling off wide. Good spoil by Petrie. Thumped it down and it rolls its way across the line. We'll get a ball in. We're into time on. Final term. And the Kangaroos have been simply awesome this afternoon. Away from home at the Hawks Fortress here in Launceston, where they've dominated. They've won the last 5 coming in. But it'll be the Kangaroos' afternoon. And they're a big threat this year. Second on the ladder tonight. Grant finds Sainsbury, who loads up from 50. And it's getting sweeter.
2 goals to Sainsbury through the middle of the ground, David.
Again, the same thing in reverse, but look, the 3 quickies for Hawthorn are not really camouflaging too much down. I mean, it's set up and it went as you would like to. But why hasn't that happened before? Because there hasn't been the same application that Kangaroos have brought consistently to the game. Hawthorn have failed in that department miserably today.
Start on the bench, Sainsbury. 12 possessions, 2 goals. Played his part.
Eddie Sainsbury came in without a goal to his name this season. He's kicked a couple this afternoon. Just his 4th game of the year. 31st overall from the ball up. McIntosh won up it down to Hodge. Sewell to Guerra. And he heads wide Good mark taken by Lewis. Takes off, gets around Simpson, spears the pass inside 50, and a good mark to Richie Vandenberg, who, as we said, is back into the lineup this afternoon, playing just his second game of the year.
20 disposals for Richie. Solid comeback. The key about his game today, I've liked the way he's ran and covered the ground.
For a bloke who hasn't been able to prepare properly, it's been very, very good in that department.
Hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon, hasn't kicked a goal this year. Starts it right, brings it back. That'll make him feel a little better.
There hasn't been the worst player for a long while. I think we know what Richie brings to the game, an enormous amount of aggression and tenacity and chase and all those sorts of things. His finishes been a little doubtful over the time. It's good to see him put that one away. And it's good to see his return. His body seems to be holding up, and he's contributed, unlike some of his mates.
Had a lot of trouble. He's back in the pre-season, so he just needs some continuity of play now. Got 4 or 5 games under his belt to see his best.
Been a bit of talk this year if Richie Vandenberg, the captain, is in Hawthorn's best 22. Never finished in the top 3 of a Hawthorn best and fairest. Didn't make the top 10 the last couple of seasons as captain, but there's been some big name captains that haven't won best and fairest at their club. Matthew Lloyd, probably one of the biggest going around at the moment. Jude Bolton, one of the captains of the Sydney Swans, also hasn't won a BNF. Rowan Smith.
Well, I didn't win a BNF either, Dwayne. Sorry, mate. But just on the Kangaroos, they're just so desperate to win. Even at this stage, late stage of the game, they just tackle hard and put pressure on the opposition. That's why they're on top of the ladder. And Shane Crawford's just gone straight up the race, boys. So he probably won't take any further part in the game either.
David Hale marks at half forward. I didn't win one either. Danny, what about yourself? Just a couple?
Lucky enough, Dwayne. The ball was down there a bit though, mate, in the 80s.
Don't cut yourself short.
No, it was down there a bit, mate.
Kick inside 50. Grant dumps it down to Young. Am I right? 2, was it, Danny? Was it more than
Just
that?
the one, Dwayne.
Just the one, okay. You could have said 2. No one would really have known. Campbell Brown. 5 minutes left on the clock. Been a good first game for young Travis Tuck, the 19-year-old. He finds Guerra. Lewis sends it long inside 50. Dowler forced to fly from behind and thump it down. Catches Petrie high. Any higher he would have missed him completely. Free kick.
Bit of tackling practice for the Hawks during the week. They've gone too high with their arms on a few occasions today. Bring your arms from your hips. Tackle with your body. Let your arms do the secondary work, not the first action.
Sinclair wide to Harris. And Harris chips it wide back to Sinclair. Just maintaining possession along the line. Sainsbury, 107 to 71. Over the head of Hale. They've turned it over. Smith. Lewis. Dowler in the middle. Guerra. Not a lot to go too long. Feeds the handball to Young. It's got Roughhead leading back into the pocket though. And Archer, front spot, takes the mark.
Well, I can't believe he kicked that. I mean, he ran in. There was 1-on-1 with Prode. All he had to go was along the square and put the runners in between. No, he went to a 2-on-1 on the boundary. I can't believe that.
McMahon inside. Sinclair outside to Swallow. And they're playing with them at the moment. They've had it wrapped up for a while, the Kangaroos. It's been very impressive, their victory this afternoon. It's been very impressive, their year for Rito. Just bombs it high. Hale is under it, forced to leap, front spot, knocked it down. Wyman, who kicked a couple of goals in the second term, can't trap it. And Taylor. Hasn't been a good afternoon back at his old home ground for Simon Taylor. And Joel Smith. Now Young. He looks up, he's got Campbell Brown. Hits him with the pass inside 3 minutes to full time.
Kangaroos have put a couple of extra numbers behind the ball. That's why we're seeing a lot of possession through the midfield now for the Hawks.
Gillum tries to thread it to Sewell. Bang! Ball turned over again. Sinclair. Wide kick is good. Simpson is now 7th on the all-time game-playing list for the Kangaroos. Adam Simpson, he's a star, and it's time we all saluted the captain of this great outfit, Adam Simpson. They are going to be dragged across the line by their genuine superstars again this afternoon, and Corey Jones will line up to put some icing on the cake to kick number 8.
And Brent Harvey again, just the run and carry, 30 possessions for him, but it started up with
Young Wyman.
Oh,
terrific.
You know the one word I can describe the Kangaroos, David? Unconditional.
They were absolutely. He caused the turnover and the thrust forward. It was just terrific. From a skinny little kid, he just ran at him.
They were unconditional at the ball and the body.
And Corey Jones with 7, lines up for number 8, swings it back a little, but not enough. Only behind, and he's disappointed with that.
Take him off. Not good enough.
He's not had an 8, had he? I think this would be probably his highest score in his history.
Guerra.
It's a career high, yes.
Yep. Short pass.
7 goals.
7 goals a career high.
No, it's a career high today.
Young. Straight down the corridor. Sewell under some pressure. Good spoil, Hamish McIntosh. Good recovery, Sewell.
That was excellent from Sewell.
Ladson to Hodge. And now Tuck. He can line up from 50, no cut. Gets caught, dragged down, holding the ball. And it'll come back to Harris.
He'll learn from that. Just a little bit of a lack of awareness in AFL football. Probably get away with in the VFL, but once he got around the one, he had to know that he was under extreme pressure. Get the ball onto your boot.
Thought there might have been a bit poor protection from his mates, but he didn't get much of that either.
But when you haven't kicked a goal and it's late in the game and you can sniff one from 55 on debut, Sinclair.
Team football, Dwayne.
So, you know, his father was pretty good at that, Dwayne. His father could pin his ears and go for it. He's a beautiful kid. He wasn't a left footer, that.
Might end up part of the greatest ever game-playing father-sons combination of all time. His dad's given them a good start.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
Over 400.
Shane in good form at Richmond, and Michael, of course, if you're unaware, 426 in total with the Hawks, the all-time AFL games record holder. Inside 20 seconds, Young chips it, and the mark taken by Murphy under some pressure. Ladson, a little slip. I'll be content to hear the siren both teams. Sinclair ties it up. But it's been the Kangaroos afternoon, holding the ball on the siren. And there's been a lot said about the Kangaroos, maybe not enough in some quarters, about how this club, as Sinclair wobbles one off the side of the boot, how this club has no money. They've got a run-down home ground. They're the gypsy of the competition. They've played at Carrara, they've played at Monica, but they might prove the mouse that roared this season. They're taking some big scalps. They're second on the AFL ladder tonight, and they are the last team to have beaten the competition leaders, the Cats, this season. And it's been a massive victory for the Kangaroos this afternoon by over 6 goals, 16-12, 108 to Hawthorn, 10-11, 71. Richie Vandenberg will be happy to be back, at least playing some football. Game number 2 for the captain of the Hawks this afternoon, Alistair Clarkson, leaving the coach's box, but their last month has been disappointing. They missed that man front of screen there, Sam Mitchell, and of course we've talked about it all afternoon. They didn't have Lance Franklin, who's kicked 49 goals for them so far this year, but it would be unfair on the Kangaroos to talk too much about the Hawks and the players they had missing. 22
contributors for the Kangaroos, probably about 3 or 4 for the Hawks. That's the difference, but they were unconditional at the ball, David. Their ability to win the hard ball, contested possessions again today, they were excellent all over the ground, the Kangaroos.
Oh, and we should be starting to give them, me too, some of the credence which they deserve, the way that they handle themselves. This was going to be for any club coming to Tasmania to play Hawthorn. I know Hawthorn did lose people of significance, but from the word go, Dan, I think the words are being unconditional in terms of the physicality in which they were. They won the hard ball gets from the start. They won clearances. They used it probably a bit better.
Well, a man who had his best ever afternoon at the office, Corey Jones, he is downstairs at Rowan Smith.
Well, Corey, come down to Tassie against quality opposition. Fantastic win.
Yeah, it was a excellent result. We knew it would be Hawks play well down here, and to come away and play the way we did was, yeah. And the position was up for grabs on the ladder, so yeah, it was absolutely very pleased.
And to come into the last part of the season, it's important to get those wins so you can finish in the top 4.
Yeah, well, we can take it where we want to. So, you know, to come down here on Hawthorn's dunghill, and I thought we played probably the best we've played in a long time. We didn't allow them to play their game, and we carried the instructions out from the coach. Excellent, so it's good.
And a career high 7 goals for yourself, not a bad effort.
Yeah, no, it was good to get a few. Missed a couple, but yeah, no, it's I don't kick many goals like that, so it was good to get a few today.
Well, you've kicked 40 for the season now. Congratulations. Go and enjoy the win.
Good on you. Thanks, Billy.
Country boy from Witchy-Proof, Narraport, and I haven't heard dunghill used for quite a while. It's good to hear the old footy terminology back in vogue.
Well, it's fantastic. I'm not sure who Witchy-Proof would have played against up there, Pargo, but I'm tipping his coaches as a junior would have used that one.
I'm not sure Tony, the curator here, will be very happy about his ground. Best surface in the competition will be called a dunghill. He won't recover from that. He'll need doctor.
Fantastic afternoon away from home for the Kangaroos here in Launceston. They've brought the Hawthorn winning streak down here to an end with an emphatic victory, 16-12, 108 to Hawthorn, 10-11, 71. Kangaroos just keep getting more impressive by the round this year. 37-point victors against Hawthorn, who've built a fortress down here in Launceston. 16-12, 108 to 10-11. And, well, the possession count probably doesn't tell the real story, does it, Danny?
It does. The contested possessions, Dwayne, that's what I like to look at. And the Kangaroos, 25, 24 more contested possessions. Hawthorn had more disposals, 220 handballs to compare to 190 kicks. Yeah. Just overused the ball somewhat. The clearances were fairly even, but the Kangaroos, they were unconditional at the contest. They were absolutely sensational today.
And their coach would be very happy. Dean Laidley is downstairs with Rowan Smith.
Well, Dean, another great win today.
Yeah, it was. You know, I thought the boys worked really hard. It's a bit of a frustrating type of game against the Hawks. You know, they possessed the ball, and I thought the boys stuck to their task. Look, they probably scored a couple of goals late, but look, we worked really hard. You know, for the first 3.5 quarters.
You do have some standout players, but it's such an even contribution from everyone at the moment.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of the side. You know, everyone does their job. You know, we had, you know, different guys again up forward today and through the midfield, and, you know, and our defence stood firm. But I thought our contest around the ball was good and our pressure was good.
Dean, congratulations on your win, second on the ladder tonight. You should be congratulated. Corey Jones kicking 7 goals. He was on Campbell Brown, one of the best defenders in the competition. He would have been wrapped with his contribution.
Yeah, look, I think you're talking about Corey Jones, and look, he was terrific, and, you know, 26 years of age, and he's really maturing as a player. He's much more consistent. You know, it's the first year he's been into the leadership group this year, and just what he's done on the field and around the club has been great. And you like to see, you know, young guys come in and mature into the man he is.
You talk about your contested possessions. I think Hamish McIntosh with 25 disposals, he set the scene nice and early in the ruck.
Yeah, look, I've been really happy with Hamish, and, you know, his work rate's been enormous, and I suppose what we've been able to do is lighten the load a little bit for him over the last few weeks with Hale and Petrie. Now Hale's a little bit fitter, so we've probably had the 3 of them going through there, which has allowed Hamish, when he comes on, to have a real impact. And, you know, again, you know, around the ground, and, you know, at the contest, he was good.
Dean, I'm not sure whereabouts I'll be in the line to apologise, but a number of people need to apologise to you guys. You've been awesome all year. No one's really talked about you all that much. The bookmakers still think you're long odds to win the flag, but your own confidence level, your players' own confidence level in each other must be growing by the week.
Yeah, it is. And look, you know, we've spoken about, you know, the journey that we started way back in October, and you know, it's been, you know, pretty well documented. But you know, we think we've got it right, and you know, if they can continue to keep, you know, the actions up on the field. Look, we've got a tough 3 weeks ahead. We go to Brisbane next weekend, and I think we play perhaps West Coast and Geelong straight after that. So it's going to be good for us. It's another test, and you know, I just hope they enjoy it.
Dean, you talked about the word tough. I think the Kangaroos epitomise the word. We talked about it up here today, unconditional. You're just unconditional at the contest and the body. I just thought the 22 boys out there today were just terrific in that area.
Yeah, well, look, you know, we've made that a real focus, Danny. You know, I think that's Danny up there. We can't really hear, but like, unconditional every time, whether you're, you know, you're going in a one-on-one and someone's coming the other way, you make sure you stick your head over the football. If you've got to back into a pack, you make sure you do that, and you support and outnumber the opposition, and that's been one of our big focuses for the year.
Dean, you're working your way into one of the fairy tales of the decade this year, the Kangaroos. Good luck next week.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Kangaroos coach Dean Laidley. They were awesome this afternoon, 37-point victors. Gee, there's another side to the coin, though. The Hawks, they were atrocious at times this afternoon.
They certainly were, Dwayne. I just thought their overuse of their handball today, 220 handballs, just overused the ball. Uncontested play. If you're going to play uncontested football, you must use the ball well. The Kangaroos, they must have known they were going to come at them. So when they were overusing the handball, the Kangaroos really did hurt them on the scoreboard in the opposition. We just see here the fumbling, the misused handballs, the lack of talk, and composure in big games. You know, they knew the big stakes today. They need to win this game of football, but they let them, not only themselves down, their coach and their supporters, because I think everyone came to this ground today expecting a terrific contest, but the Kangaroos threw everything at them, and for mine, Hawthorn really did relent under the pressure.
OK, enough about Hawthorn. Let's celebrate the Kangaroos. It was their afternoon. Corey Jones, it was his afternoon, 7 goals.
And he was playing on Campbell Brown. Earmarked for all Australian contention, but Corey Jones, what a game. 7 goals, unbelievable effort in a 16-goal game. He was everywhere. He took some grabs, his ground level ball was terrific. He was everywhere, kicking 5 goals in the first half. He set that lead up, he set them on their way, and it was guys like Sandbury and Wyman come into the game, but Corey Jones's effort with kicking 7 goals forward was just a magnificent game of football.
There's 2 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and then finished with 2 goals in the final term. Corey Jones, 7 goals for the afternoon. Aaron Edwards' mark, we need to touch on that just briefly, because even though Corey Jones' performance was awesome all afternoon, Aaron Edwards was the single biggest highlight of the afternoon.
The game needed something, Dwayne, and this was it. It was just absolutely magnificent, beautifully called by yourself. But have a look at this, horizontal in mid-air. That is a magnificent AFL mark at its finest. We see another view here where old Stevie Gillum, he'll be remembered for the mark that Aaron Edwards took in the goal square down at Aurora Stadium.
Yeah, he's certainly one of the marks of the season, and it's great to see the contested mark being strong as well, because we've had a lot of talk about whether the contested mark has been one of the great things of footy to die. Another game being played as we speak. We'll give you a score update for those that are keen to know what's happening between Essendon and Adelaide, and have a look at that for a scoreline. 15 minutes into the third term and scores are level, 12-5 apiece. And no doubt the Bomber player still with a chance of making the finals this year, playing for Kevin Sheeter to send him out at the end of the season in style.
Looks like a cracking game, Matty Lloyd kicking 5, so it looks like an exciting game of football there.
It was an exciting game for Kangaroo supporters here in Launceston this afternoon. Not such a good afternoon at the office for the Hawks, but the Kangaroos tonight are second on the AFL ladder and a genuine premiership threat. They won by 37 points. Good afternoon.
This has been a Fox Sports production.